will now call the House to order. Let us take up question number 40. Minister in charge to reply, please.
Honourable Speaker, sir, reply to start question 40A. So the productions of broomstick in the state is as follows: 22 to 23, 66.831 MT, 23-24, 75.680 MT, 24-25, it is currently being estimated. B, sir, the average of the model price of broom per quintal is as follows. In 22-23, it was 12,188. In 23-24, it was 8,400. In 24-25, it was 4,658, sir. So the type 40C, the types of support mechanism are mentioned below. 1. CM Assure is a state government's market intervention scheme, which will be notified from time to time for specific non-perishable commodities only when there is a fall in their market price. The procurement price will be fixed to compensate for the cost of cultivation and ensure a marginal profit. 2, sir, in 2024, to mitigate distressed sale of broom grass by farmers, the state government had launched a procurement and aggregation scheme. Under the scheme, the Meghalaya State Agricultural Marketing Board aggregated broom grass from farmers through farmer collectives and individual aggregators at a fixed price, which was above the then prevailing market price. Over 500 MT of the broom was procured with financial disbursement totaling to 4.76 crores, thereby supporting hundreds of broom grass farmers. Reply to 40D, sir. Sir, the CM Assured scheme was launched on the 10th of January 2025 and is being implemented. 40E, sir. The salient features of the scheme is as per statement placed on the table of the House, sir.
Honourable Member, your supplementary.
Mr. Speaker, sir, first of all, I will, on behalf of the broom farmer of the state and the people in general, I would like to express my deep gratitude to Honourable Chief Minister and the government and the whole cabinet for coming up with a scheme to mitigate the loss of the broom farmer in the state of Meghalaya. Sir, we have seen from the reply of A and B, we have seen the total production is coming up, whereas the price is coming down. If we see to this, in 2022-23, average income of the farmer is about 800 crore, 2023-24 about 635 crore, and estimated about 24-25 is 375 crore. So this linked to economy of the state. So I'm very glad that the government has come up with the measure to support the farmer. But one thing which I want to ask is that what will the government do with what is the government did with the broom which they have procured?
So the government collects this broom grass through their collectives that are placed all across the state, wherever broom is very popularly grown, and there are also individual aggregators. So, sir, the government, in its wisdom, thought that the best thing to do for the farmers is to mitigate while this volatility in the market price fluctuates, and hence farmers are feeling the pressure of loss. So, sir, we have also ensured that we engage in improving the value enhancement of broom, sir. So what the government has done through its marketing board is it collects all this broom, buys it through the aggregators and the collectors, stores it on behalf of the farmer, and waits for the price of broom to rise. What does the government do with these broomsticks? We then save for the farmer who is under stress to sell at a low price, and then we sell it to the markets through value enhancement all across. It could be we make proper, we provide for the farmers also the hubs, the agri-hubs. There as well, we teach and train the farmers how to improve this value addition to that broom, to make it more portable, to make it more durable, and to save the broom from further deterioration, because farmers, when they don't have enough space to dry this broom, tendency is that a lot of damage takes place. So therefore, the government intervenes, we mitigate, and then we sell this. So this revolving fund that we have, sir, under CM Assures, returns back to us. We have agencies, we have financing agencies who evaluate. We have a procedure that is prescribed. And this procedure is also a very simple procedure, nothing complicated. So hence we feel that in the first pilot project of 24-25, this method worked very well. And hence we are promoting it. And the Honorable Chief Minister has gone one step forward. He has now ensured that we will have a 100 crore revolving fund to help farmers during the period of stress.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I'm very thankful to Honorable Minister for the reply, which she has given, more importantly, intervention for the benefit of the farmer. One thing I want to ask is that 500 metric ton of broom grass have been procured and 4.78 crore have been spent. How much do the government recover by selling or value enhancement of this 4.78 crore?
So, sir, in the first pilot project, we have found out as a government that this system works. So what are we doing? We are now providing funds to these aggregators in their various locations across the state, wherever broom grass is popularly grown. And we have found in this investment of 5 crores in the first instance that it has helped the farmer. We are farmer-centric, and our concern is just to make sure that the farmer is saved, and it has worked. And hence we are going and becoming, we have evaluated ourselves. And hence the Honorable Chief Minister, all the officers, together on one stand, said that we must continue this scheme. And hence you have the CM Assure, sir.
Sir, my point is this: the government have gone ahead to help the farmer with 4.78 crore. They have invested in procure of 500 metric ton of broom. My point is this: how much that investment that helped? Because as the Honorable Minister has mentioned, that to recover, they sell it, and then they value addition. How much of this 4.76 crore come back to the government? Because this 100 crore is a revolving fund. So that is the question which I want to ask.
Sir, the Honorable Minister has given a very satisfactory reply. I'll just add to the entire purpose, because this was a scheme that was very close to my heart, and I had worked very hard to make this happen. So basically, the crux of the matter is that this is a program which is meant to intervene, to ensure that the market dynamics that sometimes may lead to prices to fall in the market, and that could be many, many reasons. Could be issues with the supply, could be issues with a middleman, issues with transportation, so on and so forth. So the point being, sir, we cannot assess the success of CM Assure simply by looking at the profitability of the board that is buying and selling this, sir. So the larger picture is that we have intervened and we have allowed the prices to come up, and we have intervened at a time when the farmers were in distress. I think that is the majority of the way in which we look at the success of this program. Whereas, as the point mentioned by Honorable Member is also correct, that government and the marketing board must also see. So, sir, this is the first time this has happened. We are working on it. It's not something that has got a ready-made answer for everything. It is evolving, sir. And we will try to do our best. As Honorable Member said, Minister has replied that we will be value addition will be done. We have started about 3 or 4 processing units where the grass is now made into broomsticks. This is being done by cooperative societies. Machine was given by the government to them. Now they have started making the broomsticks into a proper broom, and value addition is being done. So we will evolve, sir. We will keep improving. And wherever the chance comes in, this is a marketing board, sir, that does this. So the marketing board's job also is to do buying and selling. So therefore, as per the market cycle, we will buy and sell. Sometimes there may be profit, sometimes there may be loss. But at least the farmer, during the time of distress, will be supported by the government. And I think that is the primary objective of this scheme. And wherever possible, the board will try to make profit. It may not make profit every time, because this is more of a farmer social kind of a support structure, which is really what the key objective of the scheme is. So, point taken, we will see, sir, how to keep improving value addition so that profitability also comes for the board, but we will keep our focus on helping the farmers during distress, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chief Minister. The crux of the matter is that marketing, sir. It is very difficult for the farmer, because we have seen the production of the broom every year is increased. So I request the government to explore the possibility how to market, where to market this broom, so that the burden will not fall on the government itself, but it will help the farmer if we could market the broom. Whether the government have explored the market possibility for the broom grass which produced in Meghalaya? That is my question.
Yes, sir. In fact, in the pilot project, sir, the board has recovered approximately 70% of the investment already. So that's the kind of number that we're looking at. And sir, markets, right now the market is it's fluctuating, because suddenly neighboring states like in the northeast were not actually engaging in broom grass, now suddenly have also started picking up and are engaging in broom grass cultivation. So we have a competition now. So in 22, 23, 24, there was a huge stock, and there was a freeze of market circulation of the broom. 2021, especially because of the COVID. Suddenly there was this big boost in the market, and suddenly the prices, scaled very high. So farmers then got interested in this product, and they started furthering their plantations in broom cultivation. So market demands, the government is engaging actively across the board. We have engaged with all Government of India agencies, whether it's APEDA, whether it's, all of those government agencies. We are engaging very, very actively with TRIFED. We are trying to dovetail this scheme with all of these Government of India schemes. Tribal Affairs Department. So we are definitely working on it, sir. And this particular value enhancement for broom will evolve in the days to come.
Thank you, Minister, for the reply. And I'm very satisfied with the step taken by the government to help the broom cultivators in the state of Meghalaya. Having said that, I also request the government to take the possibility to enlighten the farmer that, as the other day, the Honorable Minister has mentioned the monocropping. We have to try to see that wherever the broom is cultivated, whether any other crop, the dedicated officer should be deputed to see whether any other crop besides broom could be cultivated, so that even if the price of broom come down, at least the farmer could recover from the crop. This is the only suggestion, Mr. Speaker, sir. Thank you.
Noted, sir.
Sorry, Baswin. He has raised his, Baswin. Barinik has raised his.
Okay.
I'll give you.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, sir. Sir, I have one question on the course of the reply of Honorable Chief Minister. He said that the manufacturing unit for Broomstick is set up in the state of Meghalaya. May I know the location where this unit is located for the benefit of this house and for the benefit of the farmers who require to sell their produces? I want to know the location where the Broomstick making unit is located, sir.
One location is in Vaijer, and one in Mokonru site has been set up. So 2, and there may be much more, sir. Right now, I was not prepared for the reply, but 2 I know for sure. But there may be many more, and we are going to set up many more, sir. So these are very, very small units. These are not like massive, units. They are machines and locally made machines. In fact, I visited the one in Vaijer myself. It is there in the prime hub that we have set up, and they are focusing more on brooms. So that would be a good one, just right next to the stadium in Vaijer. So if you can visit there, it'll be very nice. It's come out very well, and a lot of farmers are benefiting from it, sir.
Sir, one more question, sir. Since my constituency is producing large quantity of Broomstick, may I request if the government can consider one unit at Maukarwat, it will be a great help for the people of Southwest constituency if the government can consider one making unit, Broomstick making unit at Maukarwat, sir.
Point noted.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay, Baswin.
Saluting the Chief Minister for the market intervention for sale of Broomstick. So I think it appears that the support can be given only to the farmers who sell the produce at regulated market yard at Maoyong, I suppose. So may I know, sir, who will identify the farmers to avail this scheme?
Sir, farmers don't have to come all the way to Shillong, to the head office of the marketing board. Like I said, I reiterate again, we have aggregators across the state, wherever broom is popular. And there is a procedure, sir. Like we said, you have to grade any product. And the grade determines the price of that particular product. So, farmers go to the collectives, and there is already a system which identifies which is grade 1, which is grade 2, which is grade 3, or grade A, B, or C, whatever you call it. And these graded broomsticks are then evaluated, weighed, and then submitted to the aggregators, who are either cooperative societies, farmers producing societies, or they could be individual aggregators, and they in turn evaluate. So it is not government intervention. It is farmer to farmer. We are just taking away the 1% in the middle who is the middleman, who may have, for various reasons, want to stress on the farmer. So, sir, it is they themselves who decide. Grade 1, it depends on the length, it depends on the amount of dryness of the broom. Then it also depends on whether or not this broom is durable, So whether it is tough, whether it is fragile, because we've seen that the first harvest, the second harvest, the third harvest, there's always this diminishing factor that occurs in any produce. So we are therefore just simply guiding the farmers among themselves to do this job well, and we are stepping in whenever there is stress.
Yes.
May I request the department concerned who is dealing with this market intervention to find out a simple mechanism to look after the distressed sale of farmers of the broomstick produce, to find out a simple mechanism so that this market intervention scheme can be availed to the farmers throughout the states in a simple way or a simple procedure as we can, sir. And number two, sir, may I request the government that the Prime Hop may be one of the organization or the institute to look after this and to set up at my block so that it can look after this also, sir.
Point noted, sir.
Yes, Baroni.
Sir, first I would like to express my appreciation to the Chief Minister and the government for coming up with something like this to mitigate when farmers are in distress. So is there any plan by the government to consider other crops? Because, for example, in East Coast Hills, I don't know about other districts, most of the people, sir, take to potato cultivation. So some of them, I don't know how broomsticks are cultivated, but I think there is not much input put into cultivating broomsticks, sir. But when we farmers grow potatoes, there's so much inputs that are required, sir. So sometimes when the prices, drops, farmers, suffer a huge loss. So can I request the Chief Minister if he can consider, for example, potatoes also, because in East Coast Hills, I think most of my colleagues from MLAs from East Coast Hills will agree with me that majority of people grow potato. Right now, this is the time to cultivate. I'm just requesting the Chief Minister, if you can consider through CM Assure, so this will go a long way in mitigating the hardships when the farmers face when the price drops.
Opportunity to reply to this. So this is mainly for non-perishable products. The point being that for perishable products, for vegetables, for fruits, there are other ways we can add value. And we can have processing plants, and at the same time we can have different mechanisms to have cold storage, and the FPOs and the other cooperatives can then sell the products, and we have transportation for them to sell it and take it to larger markets. So there are multiple interventions is what I'm saying. So therefore we realized that the intervention when it comes to products like areca nut and broomstick were limited, and the scale at which it was happening was very large. So therefore we came out with this program specifically for non-perishable products. Other non-perishable products also may be considered. We are not closing the chapter on anything as of now, but as I said, it is a question of a commitment by the government. So every time we give that commitment, then we have to fulfill it. So we are starting with broomsticks and areca nut, which we felt a large number of farmers were involved in it. And we're sticking to right now, as I said, non-perishable products. And for perishable products, we are looking at other mechanisms and other interventions, like putting up processing units or giving them marketing support, vehicles, storage, cold storage, so on and so forth.
Yes,
Sir,
one more.
Yeah, I'd like to thank the Chief Minister, sir. And I think if, it can be considered to set up at least cold storages, sir, because we have cooperative societies, maybe they can procure, and when the prices is, good, they can sell. Thank you, sir.
Yesterday in my budget speech, sir, I had mentioned about cold storages. A large number of cold storages have come up in the last 7 years, and many, many more will come up. And the beauty of these cold storages, sir, is that most of them are solar powered. So actually, these can be put up almost anywhere, and they're completely solar powered. And the temperatures surprisingly even goes down to -2, -3 degrees, even with solar power. So like that, so there are, if not 100, at least, I can't remember the exact numbers, but large number of cold storage have already been put up. And definitely will be happy to engage with cooperative societies at Honourable Members' constituency, and also the request for putting up processing units for Broomstick from Mokurwat as well as from Mausungram. I have myself multiple times visited both the constituencies and seen the large-scale plantation of broomsticks in both these areas. So this is a very, very valid request, and definitely, sir, we will examine the matter and we will do our best to support.
Dr. Mukul Sangma, please.
Mr. Speaker, sir, broomstick growers, farmers, I also have plenty of broomstick cultivation. It's a declared asset anyway. So, this particular crop, farmers got really attracted to this because the price became very remunerative, as was being referred to by the Honorable Minister in course of her reply. Now, there was a time when this broomstick was sold at 2 rupees per kilo. So we sought the intervention of Government of India, and TRIFED was asked. So we had a beautiful meeting with TRIFED in Delhi, and the CMD TRIFED actually came, chartered a chopper to have a program with the farmers. So to make the long story short, what happened was that the price changed, So yesterday I heard Honorable CM referring to TRIFED. So here, what can be the role of TRIFED? Because what we did that time, at that point of time, was TRIFED procured this broomstick through one of the local multi-purpose cooperative society, and then we asked for training of the locals for creating those usable bundles, small bundles of 200 grams. So it was more like a value addition. So I was talking to farmers that this is another way of somehow mitigating the distress sell. So therefore, may I know from the Minister in charge, can we rope in TRIFED and also look at this value addition of broomstick? We have bamboo, we have many other options of really utilizing the skills of who are trained in crafts. So the beautifully crafted, skilled people in craft can be asked and encouraged to make bundles. One bundle is being sold at 100 rupees, 200 rupees. So 5 bundles can come out of 1 kg. So that means you look at the multiplier effect. So I think that is one way which can be, since we have many other programs which can be easily roped in, leveraged upon for integration and for creating livelihood. So may I know from the Honorable Minister whether this can be examined and have a concrete measures put in place so that value addition takes place.
Honorable Speaker, sir, in reply of the queries put up by the Honorable LO, just to share with the August House, Honorable Speaker, on the 18th of November 2024, our Honorable Chief Minister, along with our Commissioner Secretary and officers of the department, have written a letter after various engagements. We continue to follow what was being followed before, sir. We have not disbanded anything because we know that an institution like the TRIFED will play a very big role in any kind of governmental support from Government of India. So we have also discussed, the minimum support price, and TRIFED was in agreement that we should increase by 10% of the market price. So, sir, yes, we are already engaging actively with TRIFED, and yes, we are looking at this whole gamut of support pricing, and yes, we hope that all of this will yield a better support for the government, and that is why the Honorable Chief Minister in the CM Assured is going to be banking on this financial support from such institutions.
Yeah, I'm sorry, this
Mr. Speaker, sir, only one, I think the minister somehow missed my sole part of the question.
We've already taken half an hour.
Yeah, only one thing, value addition. I am trying to know whether there can be, whether the department can resort to helping, assisting the farmers to have a value addition so that it itself will be another, solution for dealing with the stress cell.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I've already replied, in fact, to this point. Value addition has started. We have already started doing it. Through the prime hubs, we are setting up different SHGs and cooperative societies are being given machines to make the entire broom. And as I said, I have visited one myself. And as requested and suggested by the other members, including our leader of opposition, we will enhance it and ensure that more and more of these different processing units for Broomstick and the final broom product are also created in different locations.
So we now move on to question number 41. By Livingstone Karpran and Sri A.L. Heg, Minister in charge, to reply. Sorry, the Minister is absent.
So the reply to question 41A, sir, 3,230 numbers. Reply to question 41B, sir, 97 crores and 68 lakhs.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. May I know from the Honorable Chief Minister, out of this 3,230 numbers of fishery ponds, how many of them belong to the individual beneficiaries and how many belong to the community, and what are the schemes?
Sir, there's a large number of 3,200. I will not have the exact breakup of how many are individual and how many are community-based, but it is mixed, sir. There are some individuals and some community-based. And basically, sir, this particular program includes aspects of fish seed being given, fish feed being given, and at the same time for area expansion, for capacity building, so on and so forth. So there are different criteria and different aspects which are included in this particular scheme, sir.
So what is the producing capacity of fish in our state in tons annually, sir?
Sir, when this program started in 2011, our capacity was 4,000 metric tons. And today, after the entire inputs and the programs being implemented at different levels, our production is increased from 4,000 metric tons to 20,000 metric tons today. And the total requirement of the state is about 32,000 metric tons. And that is why we have the new mission for Aqua Mission 3, which we're going to launch. So we're hopeful that with another additional 4,000 hectares being included, we should be able to be self-sufficient in the days to come, sir.
Sir, at present, how many metric tons of fish does Meghalaya have to import from outside, sir, in a year?
Sir, as I mentioned, the total demand is 32,000 metric tons, and the production is 20,000. So maths is quite simple. 12,000 metric tons we have to import from outside.
So another question, sir. Suppose in 1 hectare, for instance, you are giving 10 lakhs for one beneficiary. So I want to know, sir, out of these 10 lakhs, for instance, how many the loan component and how much is subsidy component, and the contribution of the farmers concerned?
Sir, there are two programs that are being run by the government. One is a central government scheme, which is the PMMSY, and there is the Meghalaya Aqua Mission. So for the Meghalaya Aqua Mission, sir, for per hectare, we are giving 16,75,000. Out of this, sir, 60% is subsidy, 15% is loan, and the beneficiary's own contribution is 25%. Under the PMMSY, per hectare, it's 12,40,000. Subsidy is 60% and own contribution is 40%.
So, is there any mechanism, sir, to curb this formalin injection, sir? It has happened before.
Sir, yes, these are incidents that we have heard of before. Sir, there is actually always a joint effort by the Fishery and the Health Department, the Food Safety, the Commissioner of Food Safety is there, sir, under the Health Department. And there's always a joint operation, or you can say exercise, that's conducted every once in a while. And there is no way for us to check every kg or every piece of fish that comes in. But these kind of inspections do allow us to then identify maybe the suppliers or the different wholesalers who are actually sending fish that may have formalin in it. And accordingly, sir, appropriate action is taken.
So one last question, sir. What are those fish varieties which our farmers are taking up, sir?
Sir, there are basically two kind of varieties mainly, which is the Indian major carp and the other is the exotic carp. So under the Indian major carp, we have the katla fish, the roho and the mrigal. Under the exotic carp, we have a common carp, silver carp and grass carp.
Sir.
Yes, Martin.
So, may I know from the Honorable Chief Minister the breakup district-wise of these 3,230 numbers of fishery ponds, sir?
So the total breakup, of course, I have the whole chart. I'm just looking at the
District-wise, sir?
Yeah, district-wise. So East Khasi Hills, there is 2,383. West Khasi Hills, 1,422. Eastern West Khasi Hills, 931. Southwest Khasi Hills, 1,397. Ribhoy, 6,929. East Jaintia Hills, 1,858. West Jaintia Hills, 3,088. East Garo Hills, 2,699. North Garo Hills, 2,256.
Sir,
West Garo Hills.
I think the reply is wrong, sir, because here you mentioned 3,230, whereas the reply that you have given must have crossed 10,000, sir.
Yeah, sir, I'm giving you the entire numbers from 2011 till now, sir. Okay. So all put together. I'm not giving the breakup of just what we have done in this last.
I'm asking the breakup of this number, sir.
So this breakup, right now, sir, I don't have it for this particular thing. I'm giving the entire breakup for from 2011 till now. The entire state, entire program for last 15 years.
Sir, why I'm asking this question? Because one of the reason that fishes in Meghalaya cannot reach, or we cannot get the average growth because of the weather. So I feel that if concentration of fishery will be according to the weather, that means that construction of this fishery ponds should be based on that aspect also, sir.
Yes, sir. In fact, as I said, these are done on the basis of proper study, and as I said, even the varieties that we have, we are being as far as possible, we are trying to give the varieties which would suit that particular climate, and hence we have different hatcheries that have been set up in different parts of the state. So therefore, all these aspects are being looked into because the weather conditions and local conditions are very important when we put up these ponds.
Sir, may I know whether the government is adopting any scientific method for fish growers?
So the entire process that we are working on, whether it is the different varieties that we give them, or whether it is the actual process of ensuring that how to maintain the ponds and all these aspects, sir, we are continuously giving training to our farmers. Apart from that also, sir, there are other technologies like biofloc ponds are also being used, where we are giving support for those kind of technology also.
Yes, Dr. Mukul.
Mr. Speaker, sir, it's one of the programs initiated by the state, keeping in mind the huge demand-supply gap. And Government of India started this scheme under so-called Blue Revolution. So what we have seen now, after both the state government and Government of India support for this program for promoting aquaculture, in respect of Meghalaya, where we still have gap, is the hatcheries. We see all our farmers have to actually get these fish fingers from fingerlings from Assam. This is a reality. So there used to be a component for hatchery. I would like to, therefore, based on what is happening, since the demand-supply gap in respect of supply of fingerlings are quite substantial, may we know from the, or rather, can I get a categorical assurance from the Chief Minister to examine this aspect and ensure that some allocation at the initial stage be done in such a way so that we can meet this huge gap in respect of demand and supply?
Yes, sir. As of now, we have 61 numbers of hatcheries in the state already, which is producing approximately 24.7 million fingerlings. And at the same time, there is a proposal and a sanction of about 10 crores to put up another 35 numbers, where we hope we'll be able to increase the production to meet the needs of the farmers. And we are also ensuring that we have hatcheries for the indigenous as well as the exotic variety. In fact, for the indigenous one, we have got the Mahasir hatchery in the state, West Karo Hills, and in Shillong, and in many other locations, sir, we have many more hatcheries. So it is on track, sir, and we realize the need for having more hatcheries, and that's the reason why we are sanctioned 35 new ones, which the work for which should commence, which means total by the end of this completion of this new hatcheries, we should be having a total of 96 hatcheries.
Mr. Speaker, sir, another area is the feeds. These feeds also, all of us are bringing feeds from Assam. I have my own fish pond, many of us have. So this is another area where I think government will have to look at providing this entrepreneurial support specifically for feeds, because this is another area where a livelihood can come up, entrepreneurship can be promoted. So is there any special earmarking of fund which should be considered as commensurating to the kind of demand which will be commensurating to the demand and supply gap?
Yes, sir. For fish feed also, we have established 15 numbers of feed mills in the state that is producing approximately 778 metric tons of feed. Though this is not meeting the demands, the demand is very, very high. The demand, in fact, goes up to almost close to 30,000 metric tons is required. But we have already, sir, sanctioned another 12 more new ones, and 17 more will be upgraded so that we can increase the production. But I guess it's a phase-wise manner, so we'll have to do much more. But this is the current status right now, sir.
What is the kind of assistance being supported for this feed mill specifically?
Sir, I don't have the exact number with me for the feed mill right now. I'm sure it's somewhere here, sir. But I will not be able to give the answer really quickly. But there is support being given. I can give the information specifically to the Honorable LO later, sir. I can lay it on the table of the House.
Okay, now we move on to next question, question number 42. Sumablang Dar, Deputy Chief Minister in charge to reply, please.
Mr. Speaker, sir, reply to star question 42. A, yes, sir. B, yes, sir. The interventions are as per IRC 86-2018, Geometric Design Standard for Urban Roads and Streets. C, yes, sir. D, yes, sir.
Right, sir.
Honorable Speaker, sir, at the very outset, I would like to express my surprise that the Honorable Minister in charge Urban Affairs is replying to my question instead of the Honorable Minister in charge PWD, where any projects on roads are being taken up. However, be that as it may, as far as I know, the main Secretariat Road is a national highway. Please correct me if I am wrong. Therefore, my question is, whether NOC has been obtained from the state PWD National Highway or the Ministry of Road Transport and Highways, Government of India, before undertaking the painting and reducing the road width.
Mr. Speaker, sir, actually this project is implemented by Urban Affairs Department under the supervision of the district level committee headed by ADC and include other committees members such as the SP Traffics, COSMB, Joint Chemicals and Plannings, and Urban Department, and Superintending Engineer, UAD, and also the Executive Engineer to the Central Division, Executive Engineer, SMB, and consultant from the General Urban Space. Obviously, PWD is a part of this project. It was just a trial. It was just a trial. This in and around Secretariat building.
I think the Honorable Minister didn't get the question which I asked with regards to whether NOC has been obtained from the State PWD National Highway or the Ministry of Road Transport and National Highways before undertaking the painting and reducing the road width.
Mr. Speaker, sir, actually this is also a part with the PWDs together in the committee. I think must be they have taken it. Because PWD is also as engineer of the Central Division is a part of this project in the committee as a member.
I don't know whether we can just assume, but okay, I'll come to the reply to for B. I would like to know whether the different painted colors like yellow, white, green, purple, orange, etc. are permissible, and if so, what criteria have to be complied with, since it is quite confusing.
Mr. Speaker, as per road marking, as per IRC 35 standard, the color used normally is white and yellow, but as per this Tactical Urbanization's guidebook, is different color can be used.
Okay, with regards to the traffic congestion in the area throughout the day, sir, and the replies for C and D. Now also that all these schools have opened fully, I would like to know from the Honorable Minister, 1, what kind of studies or surveys or analysis were conducted that recommended the painting of the main Secretariat Road? Speaker, sir, if it permits, such reports may kindly be placed before the August House. And number 2, whether Home Police Traffic Department agreed to the project. And number 3, what was the budget provision for the project either in the Urban Affairs Department or PWD, and what was the estimated cost?
Mr. Speaker, sir, this project is first a trial project from the Urban Affairs. It was just a trial. It was not mean that it should, if the project is success. So actually we mean this by painting of this to increase the share of the non-motorized transport in the city road, and also to reduce the congestion in the city and develop Shillong as a pedestrian-friendly city. It means to streamline the pedestrians and the traffic flow for the safety. So actually, as of now, there is no specific sanction because done by the department, just a trial. Even expenditure is 0 till date. So even this, even for the report, we can lead on the House when everything is ready.
Yes, Tukum.
Mr. Speaker, sir, now this particular whatever intervention was done by the department concerned, The Honorable Minister of Transport is also the chairman of the State Road Safety Committee. Now, whether the parameters required to be adhered to in respect of road safety has been looked at this at the time of implementation of this particular program.
Yes, Mr. Speaker, sir, and also we had fixed even next meeting for road safety on the 17th of this month. Even we used to have once in a year for related from the Road Traffic Safety Committee, which is myself as a chairman, and the next meeting is also fixed on the 17th of this month itself to discuss about this issue.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I think my question was pertaining to adhering to the parameters, because anything that distracts the concentration of the driver, resulting in possible accidents, are to be adhered to. Anything on the roadside. Therefore, there's a stringent parameter to ensure road safety. Whether this parameter has been violated or is not in this instant case, this has to be coming from road safety aspect. So that is my question.
Mr. Speaker, also is the traffic is always managed and regulated by the police department traffic, and anyway points noted, Mr. Speaker, sir, I will examine this matter. And obviously, always there is a regulated in order to avoid all these incidents.
Mr. Speaker, sir, may I get...
Sir, I'll just supplement. Sir, there is basically a handbook of the Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs, which is called the Tactical Urbanization Guidebook, sir. And this guidebook has got details of all the different aspects of the materials, the traffic cones, the painting, what can and what cannot be done. So therefore, based on this particular tactical urbanism guidebook by the Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs, Government of India, the interventions have been taken as per that guidebook, sir.
Mr. Speaker, sir, in that case, may I get an assurance from the government to look at all these interventions which might have been done by any department, even including the hoardings, etc., etc. Because we have to remember one fact that the states, all the states are signatory in respect of filing of affidavit before the Honorable Supreme Court in respect of ensuring that all the parameters required to be followed and all the measures required to be taken by the respective authorities to ensure road safety. We are the signatories. Therefore, may I get an assurance from the government to have an auditing of all these roads in respect to any deviation from all these parameters from the road safety perspective.
Sir, just so that the House is in proper perspective of actually what's happening, I need to give a bit of the overall picture so that everybody is clear. So this is basically part of what we call the Shillong Urban Mobility Policy. So we have worked on the larger master plan for overall decongestion of Shillong and improving the overall traffic mobility. And for this, sir, a long, detailed study, everything from the road safety, the road conditions, different areas of possibility of creating parking spaces, different areas where we can create walking space, keeping in mind all aspects and rules of Government of India and the state government, incorporating all aspects. We have spent a lot of time and this policy has been created. What we are doing today, the space that we have painted for the people and the pedestrians to walk on and the civilians to walk on is part of this particular Shillong Urban Mobility Policy. Sir, I think all the citizens of Shillong City will appreciate, including the members from the opposition, that traffic is a massive problem for us. So this step was taken in order to ease the traffic congestion, overall movement, increasing walking space, increasing parking space. So all of this has been put together. And as I said, all aspects have been looked into. All rules have been followed. And definitely, sir, we are going to be more extra careful. I'll take the suggestion. We will audit the whole thing and make sure that we don't leave any stone unturned. But my point being, sir, ultimately that this is being done, as I said, overall as part of the master plan. We will be creating, and hopefully, as per our policy, we'll be creating about 30% of the road for non-motorized transport. The idea being, sir, that people should be able to park their vehicle, and that's why parking lots are coming up. About close to 1,200 parking lots, parking for vehicles for about 1,200 are now either construction has started or the sanction has been done. And many of the government spaces, wherever we can find, we are creating them and making them into nice open parking spaces. And from there, our intention is to create this walking space so that people can then walk. So that day I took a walk from Secretariat to Police Bazaar, and I could see the vehicles on the side. So I reached much faster just walking than actually if I had gone with my vehicles. So my point is, sir, that this is a simple logic. And why I'm sharing this is because I think the members need to understand that this is painting that we did is not just a one-off thing. It's not just that we just woke up one day and said, come on, let's paint this and let's do this. It is part of a larger master plan with integrated work. And as I said, the Shillong urban mobility policy has been created, looking at all aspects. We have studied this recently. We have created the street parking policy also, sir. This is also part of this policy program, where we have realized that, and for the, sir, to come up with the program, we actually had our people count the number of vehicles that were being parked every day in Panlong Night Park, as well as in park means outside, as well as in Laimukra, as well as in Kindailar. We had people for 30 days, 40 days just noting down how many vehicles are coming in. So this is a kind of study that has gone in to make this Shillong urban mobility policy. And as I said, let me assure the House that we have taken most of the areas and aspects into consideration. We'd be happy to take more suggestions if we have any, because this is for the good of the people of Shillong City. And we are hopeful that with implementation of such programs, and we seek the support of the citizens, we seek the support of all the public at large, that let us use these walking spaces. And yes, it will be difficult to adapt immediately, but it is something that will be good for our city. And we seek the support. It's a bit of inconvenience in the beginning, but when we get used to it, we will see the benefits of it. So I just wanted to share this, and definitely we'll look at the aspect of auditing this and seeing which are the areas which may need a bit more intervention from our side. And based on that, we will take necessary action. And as I said, and regarding the colors also, I just wanted to share, the Honorable Member had asked about the color combinations. So all of this, sir, has been done as per the prescribed norms. So the color schemes, the designs, all these aspects, sir, has been taken from the tactical urbanism guidebook, which is made by the Ministry of Urban Affairs, Government of India. So it is being followed as per the guidelines of Government of India.
One last, I will request the Honorable Chief Minister or the Minister concerned to kindly, like the Chief Minister had just mentioned, that thorough studies has been done with regard to the coloring of the road is concerned. So I'll request the Honorable Minister to kindly place it before the House with regards to the studies which recommends the painting of the main Secretariat Road. Thank you.
Point noted.
Yes, Balakman Ruby.
So when we talk about congestion and decongestion, sir, I just want to point out, sir, there is one truck which made an accident in Meranderting. It lies there for more than 1 year. When it will be removed, sir? I just want to know, because more than 1 year, it creates a very unsafe to the car and traffic jam. I want immediate action, sir. Moreover, also even in near the Thana of Lumdinjiri, many accident vehicle is parking there. Kindly take action on this, sir.
Sir, a well noted point. Sometimes I think as everybody does get busy with so many things that we miss out these small issues. But we are thankful to have members like Malakmen who are very vigilant and keep giving us this information. So definitely we will take action on this. Even I'm very particular about this. I saw the same thing in my constituency in Tura. And I was traveling and I saw, and then still there are some, but there were a lot of them lined up outside the Thana, and also, so it's an eyesore. You're totally correct. Sir, I will give assurance that I will tell the concerned officials immediately today itself to take necessary action on this.
Question hour is over. Now we come to item number 2. There is a short duration discussion raised by Sri Livingstone Karpran, MLA, to raise a short duration discussion under Rule 50 of the Rules of Procedure and Conduct of Business on a matter relating to the proposed conversion of forest land into an industrial estate in Barnyard by the state government. Sri Livingstone Karpran, MLA, please.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir, for allowing me to raise this short duration discussion under Rule 50, Rules of Procedure and Conduct of Business on matter relating to discuss on the proposed conversion of forest land into industrial estate in Barnyard by the state government. Sir, while we talk about the need for industrial growth and economic expansion, sir, it is really important to strike the balance between environment and development. They are saying that development and environment should go hand in hand. Sir, the proposed land at Barnyard is a green cover and playing a key role in soil and water conservation and air purification. So when we talk about air purification, that means the leaves take all the carbon dioxide gases and keeping out oxygen during the process of photosynthesis. This helps in maintaining the ecological balance. So you remember that every year during 5th June, at the World Environment Day, everybody is taking part in tree planting drive. And the Forest Department and the Soil and Water Conservation Department used to plant number of trees every year. So, sir, we need to protect Barnyard, which has now labeled as, if not the dirtiest one, but as one, maybe as one of the dirtiest places in India, with an air quality index of 92, according to Central Pollution Board. The air pollution level have become hazardous, especially for children, the elderly people, the sick people. So if you allow large-scale deforestation for the sake of industrialization in environmentally sensitive areas, we risk everything where pollution threatens our health and well-being of our people. Sir, if we should have enough trees, so we experience the global warming also, and there will be also effect on the depletion of ozone layer. It will also affect the hydrological cycle. So there will be climate change. So, sir, if we cut the trees, there will be not only air pollution, but there will also be water pollution and soil pollution. So the water, we should make water work. If no more trees, there will be more runoff and less infiltration. So they are saying that we should think globally, act locally. I remember when the Prime Minister Vajpayee, the former Prime Minister of India, when he visited Shillong in 2001, he said, I quote, this land is fit for God to live in. So we are proud to hear such words from the former Prime Minister. Why he said so? Because when he looked at our beautiful state, he saw trees everywhere. Our state is very rich in flora and fauna and some other natural resources, sir. So my key concerns here, sir, number one, that whether this environmental impact assessment has been done to assess the long-term consequences of this proposed project. Number 2, sir, whether the local community has been consulted before taking any decisions. Another point, sir, if at all we are not opposing the industrial development in our state, but if at all the government want to explore taking up this industrial development in our state, they should explore the alternative location for industrial development in the degraded land or wasteland. Sir, in the land capability classification, there are 8 classes. If the government want to take this industrial development, should take in the class 7 or 8 land. That is more or less the degraded land or wasteland. So, Banihat, with its already existing industrial base, could be further strengthened with improved infrastructure rather than creating more industries in this area, sir. Lastly, sir, commitment to sustainable development. If industries are to be set up anywhere in the state, will the government mandate strict environmental regulations such as pollution control measures and clean energy adoption? Sir, I urge the Honorable Chief Minister to reconsider this proposal and ensure that the industrial development plan does not compromise with the environmental integrity of Banihat. With these few words, sir, I resume my seat. Thank you, sir.
Please, in charge to reply, please. Okay, sorry.
Okay, so thank you for allowing me also to participate in this short duration raised by your Emily representing Morankning constituency. So, in fact, as the party, we had already flagged our concern when it comes to this issue. We had submitted a letter to the Chief Minister on the 24th July 2024. So, however, sir, till today, we have not received any information, though the Chief Minister has launched the CM Connect schemes, but it seems that our Chief Minister chooses to disconnect with the voice of the People Party, where we are not given the chance to meet and discuss on this issue. And we have raised many concerns on this letter that we have written to him. We have raised a concern about the environmental impact, where there will be a depletion of forest cover in that area. We have raised a concern about the existing pollution levels and also the undermining agriculture and conservation efforts, credibility concern, and the potential for misuse. These are the concerns that we have raised in our letter to the Chief Minister. But, sir, it seems that because after we made a spot inspection to this site from the Voice of the People Party, we are made to understand that the government seems to carry out this project surreptitiously, quietly, just asking the staff to leave the premises. And we are also told that the government is going to take over even the land adjacent to that CTI, Conservation Training Institute at Banihat. So, as we had already discussed about the existing pollution levels, on the other day, the local MLA had raised this issue in this August House, and our Honorable Chief Minister has replied, expressing the problems since that area is also in the border area with Assam, where pollution is not coming only from Meghalaya side, but also from many industries that are coming from the Assam side. But sir, since we know that this is a very serious issue, I think that should not be the reason that why we can't improve the environment in that area. We know that there is a provision in the Constitution of India, Article 263, a provision with respect to an interstate council. And let me read out this article, sir. if at any time it appears to the President that the public interest would be served by the establishment of a council charged with the duty inquiring into and advising upon disputes which may have arisen between states, b, investigating and discussing subjects in which some or all the states or the Union and one or more of the states have a common interest. So, sir, I think there has to be a common interest between Assam and Meghalaya as far as the quality of environment in that particular area is concerned. So, and we know that under this article, a Secretariat Commission on Interstate Council was also established in 1990. So, I would advise our Chief Minister to make use of this council to engage with the Assam counterpart, how to improve the environment in that area. Because to establish more industries in an already most polluted area in India would be a disaster to the people living in that area. So let me also remind this House that the people living in those areas, many villages have come together protesting the intent of the government to establish industries in that area. We had gone deep inside that area. We could see the difference between the main road and the kind of an environment deep inside that area. And there are many large number of trees. So if the government is to convert that area into an industrial estate, we could easily understand that the government will have to cut the entire hills, because industries cannot be set up in that kind of a situation, sir, in the kind of the topography that is there. So therefore, we feel that this matter should be resolved, and as we are not against development, we would like to see development, but not at the cost of the environment and the safety of the people living in that area, sir. So therefore, sir, I joined the mover and strongly support, and I hope that the government will find an alternative place. Please save that area and also the area of belonging to the horticulture. And it will come to more than 4,000 acres of land. So that is a huge land, sir, because if we are to help the people living in that particular area. So with these few words, sir, I resume my seat.
Okay. Sustenus.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir, for allowing me to take part in the short duration discussion under Rule 50 of the Rules of Conduct of Business raised by the Honorable MLA of Mauring Keneng, Shri Having Stone Karpran. So, as yesterday I've already raised the call attention notice with regards to the pollution in our area, Bonihat. So I stand here. Thank you, sir, for allowing me to participate in this short duration discussion. Before I could raise some issues, I would like to thank the government for the idea, or rather appreciate the government for the idea of setting up of non-polluting industries that will create more employment. But at the same time, I would stand with the people, sir, because people in our areas, when the words industries utter, it makes fear, psychosis, like polluting or pollution that will come out of any industries that will be set up there in our area. So the deforestation, which leads to the soil erosion, which has affected the stream, which get accumulated with which get accumulated along the river, adjacent with the Soil Conservation Training Institute and the Ampere Village, where St. Jude School is situated. And in many occasions, in the rainy season, that particular school, the school authorities, they will face a big problem due to heavy flood which happened during the rainy season. And from the school authorities, they have from time to time given the complaints, and not only to me, to the deputy commissioner, and in fact to our honorable chief minister also, regarding the complaints about the flood which happened during the rainy season. So for these reasons, people of that area, they are very much afraid, because it may create more and more problems. And my suggestion, sir, to the government, to please take the confidence of the people before moving ahead with this projects and plans, or rather shifting the project to some other places. That would be better, because as information that I am getting, there are other parties who have only offered lands for free of cost for any particular projects that the government is intent to for setting up of non-polluting units for the betterment and employment of the people. So with only these few submissions, sir, I resume my seat. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Yes, Dr. Mukul Sharma.
I rise to participate in this short duration discussion and would like to make a brief submission. Now this discussion is pertaining to the proposed conversion of forest land into an industrial estate in Barniha by the state government. We are aware of the fact that we already have industrial estate in Barniha, and I think even if we look at how the state has benefited out of that, we already know how exactly further investment in that particular area can bring about, if it is at the cost of certain important areas where we tend not to compromise, or rather not to go at the cost of certain aspect. In this particular instant case, it is about preservation, conservation of forest. Now, Mr. Deputy Speaker, sir, when we talk about forest land, ours is a very different situation in respect of forest ownership. We have community forest, we have private forest, we have government reserve forest. We also have district council reserve forest. So I think it is only important for us to know and refresh our mind that we have all collectively put our efforts together to see the kind of forest coverage in the state over the years and reach the current status of forest coverage thus far. And the state has been appreciated to a great extent because of ever increasing forest coverage that the state could achieve. Hats off to the people also, because they took up various other personal interventions like horticulture, farming, etc., etc. Honorable Deputy Speaker himself must have planted how many trees? It's a matter to be appreciated. So many contributions from all the stakeholders have enabled the state to have the kind of forest coverage. And as government, we must also remember the fact that on a number of occasions, successive governments have also pleaded our case as a state to take cognizance of this important contribution by the state and the people of the state towards the environment and then forest coverage and the environment of the, in fact, every contribution to forest coverage and environment is to be appreciated, not at the level of state only, but at the national level, at the global scale. Because little drop of water make a mighty ocean. So every contribution matters. Therefore, we pleaded our case that let the state receive some kind of appreciation and let it be remunerative. All this endeavor of the state and the people must be remunerative. And we were able to prevail upon Finance Commission. And if we go back and reconnect ourselves with various other awards and recommendations of Finance Commission in the preceding decades, we have been able to get that kind of dividends from this achievement. It is a department which is manned by specific dedicated all India services and also the state cadres. So therefore, this is an area where we have achieved something, and therefore the state must be really looking at how we brand ourselves as a very special state where collectively we have achieved this. Now here it is a question of using a forest land into industrial estate. I would appreciate the submission made by the Honorable Local MLA himself, Basotun, because I think we should appreciate the fact that he's speaking on behalf of people who happens to be in that particular constituency. And also, we as members of this August House represent the desire and intent and concern of the people. Now here, another aspect I just like to take and invoke a process of thinking to the government is, now this reserve forest, government reserve forest, and the state, your district council reserve forest, private forest, community forest, these are renewable sources of income. We plant trees, we must be able to harvest and get return. It becomes attractive. It is not like mineral that once we do mining, it will not be, the question of how we look at the assets and the sources of income. I remember many of our senior leaders in this August House very eloquently articulating about how to help the community so that forest can be a source of sustainable income. Because we cut the tree and we plant, if we cut one tree, we plant many more trees because it is remunerative. But in the instant case, what is happening is that I think we need to look at to support the community also and to see that all the state government reserve forests which are under the command of the State Forest Department must be protected, and in the instant case, this forest land also must be protected and preserved. Community also, and to see that all the state government reserve forests which are under the command of the State Forest Department must be protected, and in the instant case, this forest land also must be protected and preserved, since there is an alternative. I also would like to express concern because some people were whispering to me, these areas, forest land, beautiful areas, is the government intending to look at the possibility of transferring these areas for attracting investment, wherein other investment, mode of investment against which people are protesting will be encouraged. We may recollect that there was a strong protest about the proposal of the government to allow casinos, gambling in the state. So there is a question posed by people, and that is the only precise reason why I am participating in this short duration discussion. In the name of investment, when we have this land bank, let this investment not be designed in such a way which should go against the desire of the people and will of the people. I think this particular concern has been very elaborately articulated by people across the state, including political parties. Therefore, we must always keep in mind when we try to attract investment, let us not look at those areas of investment which will go against the core values which is close and dear to the heart of our people. So with these few words, Mr. Deputy Speaker, sir, I want to know also a categorical assurance from the government. All these investment strategies where government is acquiring land shall not be used for those kind of investment against which the people of Meghalaya have very loudly spoken and have eloquently articulated to draw the attention of the government. And I remember before the election 2023, the government also have assured that these particular proposals of investment will not be those kind of investment which will be encouraged in the state. So I think these also need to be addressed by the government. We should have a categorical reply and assurance in this regard as well, Mr. Deputy Speaker, sir. With these few words, I
Thank you.
resume my seat.
May I request Olan Singh Sweet to take the floor?
I would also like to participate in this short hour discussion raised by Honorable MLA from Morongkneng regarding the conversion of forest land into an industrial estate. Well, yesterday, our Honorable MLA from Jirang has raised more or less the relevant issues which I could have participated, but I could not. When we talk about this forest, about the pollution, we talk about the three types of pollution, sir. The air pollution, the land pollution, and the water pollution. When we talk about the air pollution, I think we are all aware that we are all here taking in oxygen, not only from the oxygen produced from the green trees from the surrounding. Maybe the oxygen, because oxygen gas has no barriers to go anywhere. Maybe we are taking in oxygen from my area, maybe from Nongpo area, maybe from Pakistan, we don't know. So, when I talk, it is a broad subject, sir. It is like we are discussing about the greenhouses and the greenhouse gases effect. Let's see especially let me refer to the Ribhoy Industrial Estate as already mentioned here. In the last 1 year, we have visited this industrial estate at Bernihat. I have seen that so many water pollution. Because water, we know, it's a very indispensable solvent that last many years ago, this Bernihat River, many people from Shillong, they went for fishing in the Bernihat River. Because that time, that river was quite fit for the aquatic to live in. But now, due to the pollutants, this water also undergoes many changes. It becomes toxic, not fit for human consumption, maybe not fit for the fish to live in there. So, this angle we have to be very careful. Why the air pollution contributed to the land pollution and the water pollution? We have seen also in the industrial estate, they have got the flying ash. Of course, they are spraying with the sprinkler to suppress the flying ash. But this flying ash settled down on the earth crust. So when rain comes, due to runoff, these will convey the inert materials to the river, and therefore make the river toxic, making all the living things unfit to stay there. And when we talk about the carbon dioxide, we also produce carbon dioxide. Industry also produce big volumes of carbon dioxide. And who will take in this carbon dioxide? It is the green forest, the leaves that can take in the carbon dioxide. Because if you destroy the forest, the atmospheric carbon dioxide may come down. because this carbon dioxide is heavier than oxygen. They may come down, and we human beings will inhale the carbon dioxide mostly instead of oxygen. Therefore, it is hazardous. But it is not said. It is not to say that because of the destruction of forests due to industrial estate development and river district, we cannot get oxygen. Oxygen can fill in from anywhere. But however, it is more hazardous to the people living in that area. Therefore, destruction and construction go side by side. We cannot stay without food, but we cannot afford to live to lose our health. So, I think I will not speak so much. Only these few submissions, sir. Thank you.
Any other member who would like to participate? If there is no other member to participate, I would request Honorable Chief Minister to make a reply.
Mr. Deputy Speaker, sir, at the very outset, I would like to thank the Honourable Member, Shri Livingstone Kharpran, Honourable Member from Morankaneng, for having tabled this short duration discussion. I also would like to thank Honourable MLA from Nongkrem, Honourable Leader of Opposition, Honourable MLA from Mosungram, for having participated in this short duration discussion. Sir, in fact, I'm very happy that this short duration discussion has come up. And it is in fact an opportunity for me to clarify so many misconceptions that are prevailing regarding this project, and also to clarify the stand of the government on not only this project but also larger aspect of how the government plans to work in the future, and many other issues and concerns that other members, our local MLA, Sostene Sotun, also had participated. I forgot to mention his name earlier. Thank you for your participation. Being a local MLA, it is obviously of a major concern to him. And I have noted down all the points that he has mentioned. So let me start by clarifying one basic misconception. The members have all mentioned, including the mover, that forest land is being converted into industrial estate in Banihat. So the first misconception is, this is not a forest land. It is not a recorded forest land, sir. It is not in the records of the government. And hence, the first point in itself, that this is a forest land, is completely incorrect. As per our records as of today, the records clearly mention this is not a forest land. It is not in the record of the government. So let me please clarify that once. So everybody's thinking that it's a forest land is now going to be converted into industrial. It is not a recorded forest land, sir. I want to repeat it one more time. Number two, I would like to share that it is not that we just take this particular land and tomorrow itself the industry start. No, sir. The only process that we have started as of now is to transfer this land from the soil conservation and the horticulture department to the government. That is all. Nothing beyond that as of now. And the reason why we're doing that is because this particular land is currently having some activity related to horticulture and some training programs. If I'm not wrong, there are 2 or 3 programs of training going on. And as a government, we felt that this land, based on its location, is being underutilized. There is much more we can do with that land. And hence, we have decided only one thing, which is that this land should be given back to the government, which is within the department. It's just interdepartmental kind of a movement. And these other departments will be then given a separate land in some other part of the state, so that they are compensated for this land which is being given to the government. That's the second misconception I wanted to clear. So we are only transferring the land as of now. Third, sir, the total size of this land is not thousands of acres as mentioned. It is precisely 137 acres. 127 acres of the soil conservation and 10 acres of horticulture. So it's a 137 acre land, not, as I said, thousands of acres as was being mentioned. So with this basic background, that number one, it is not a recorded forest land. So I think the question of us mentioning again and again forest land being transferred for industries, forest land being transferred in industries, is the first misconception that I would like to clarify. Second point, as I said, which I want to clarify, is a point that this is, as of now, a transfer of government land to government land. So from one department to another department, and the department from whom the land is being taken is going to be compensated by being given a land somewhere else. And we're doing it basically because this land has much more value and is underutilized, and it can be utilized in a much more better manner. And third, as I said, the land size is 137 acres. So with this background, I would like to now touch on some of the concerns and issues that have been mentioned. Sir, yesterday or day before yesterday, I can't remember, but when the Honorable MLA from Burnihart had brought out this issue of the pollution in, MLA from Jirang had brought out the issue of pollution in Burnihart. Sir, I had mentioned in my reply that all the records that have been shown in different newspaper clippings were records that were taken by the Assam monitoring station, which came out with the numbers and showed very poor AQI. Whereas the Meghalaya, when we looked at our stations and our equipments that we placed, in the month of January, the same period, 2025 January, our readings have shown that the areas, 3 locations in those areas where we have stations, showed satisfactory and moderate in the EPIP section. So I want to clarify this also, that yes, we obviously would want to make sure that the air quality is the best possible for our citizens. But all I'm trying to clarify right now, sir, is that the very poor index that we keep referring to is from the Assam station. Whereas we don't refer to the readings from our own station. And our own station readings, I have mentioned yesterday, says satisfactory, and in one location it says moderate. So it is not very poor as being mentioned. We are following the Assam station. I guess since we have our own stations, we should look at our own stations. But yes, is the pollution an issue? It is an issue. We must not ignore it. And we must not just simply go by this and say, well, everything is okay. Absolutely not. But I just want to clarify the misconception in one way that it's very poor, but that's because Assam stations showed that. But our stations have given a different figure, and I would like to stick with ours, and we would want to make this obviously from satisfactory to good, and if possible, very good also. Sir, in regards of the land itself, just want to share with you that 55.9% of the land is degraded shrub land. So honorable member who had raised this had brought a point that why don't we go for shrub land, wasteland. So I'm happy to share with the honorable member that 55% of this training institute, I'm talking about the detailed use of the land there. So about the training institute in the CTI section, about close to 55.9% within just the Conservation Training Institute. I'm not talking about the entire 137, but the Training Institute, which is about 71 acres, about half of that. There is about 40 hectares of land, which is degraded land, which is 55% of that Conservation Training Institute. So for any project that we would move forward with in the future, so would require us to then do the environmental impact assessment, take the CTE, CTO, and all other procedures will need to be followed case-to-case basis. So therefore, the question of us doing a impact assessment or a environment impact assessment doesn't arise now, because right now we are only transferring the land from one department to the other. So therefore, we have not done that. We are definitely going to do that as and when, case-to-case basis, we move forward, if so, for any other project that we take up in the future. So regarding the issue that was mentioned by the Honorable Local MLA, I had visited the school myself. I spoke to the engineers after they complained to me about the water logging. There is a slight technical issue. The level of the land where the school is below the road level. And hence we find the stream which is on the other side, when it overflows, it goes over from the road and then flows into the school. It's a big problem, sir, for the school. There's no doubt about it. And definitely we are trying to see, it's a slightly engineering kind of a challenge, because as I said, it's at a lower level compared to the road level, and it'll require a big intervention for us to be able to resolve that, but we will do our best to look into it. So keeping in mind the future, and in a case and scenario where maybe if we do go ahead with different projects, sir, every aspect of water logging or movement of the water or drainage to be prepared, all of these technical aspects will be taken into consideration. Because we had an intention, and we still have an intention, to make this particular area into kind of a state-of-the-art kind of industrial estate. We want it to be very, very high standards from all angles. As I mentioned in the opening remarks, this is a very, very prime location. And the land which is lying there is being underutilized. And hence we desire to utilize it in a much more better manner. And in whatever scenario we move forward with, we will ensure that, number one, all the provisions of the law in terms of environmental aspect, in terms of planting of trees, this is not a forest land, so the question of us going under the Forest Act does not apply. So, but wherever the necessary aspects of growing of trees or other things environmentally which needs to be done, obviously will be done. All aspects of the water flow, of the road connectivity around that place, all of this will be planned in a very, very professional and technical manner. And the idea will be to make this into a state-of-the-art kind of an industrial estate. So, therefore, sir, the question of us bypassing or flaunting any laws related to whether national highway, whether environment, or any other aspect does not arise. Sir, a very important point which I would like to mention today, and I've been mentioning, of course, in the past few days also. Sir, our government has always been very, very clear. We want to do many things. We believe in taking our state forward. But we have been clear that it will always be with the consent of our people. We will always take our people on board. We have shown and demonstrated in the past that this government has the will to even come back on decisions based on the desire of the people. There were so many decisions we took in the larger interest. We wanted revenues to grow. So we decided that, yes, maybe we should have the Gaming Act. We expected revenues maybe to the tune of 500 to 1,000 crores, which could then be invested for larger development. And we could find ways in which we would be able to restrict the participation of our own people by ensuring that these kind of things and activities would be very far away and closer towards the border where the market is available. And we would be able to create a win-win situation. We did it with a good intention, with the intention to increase the revenue. But we realized that people's sentiments were not there with us. We realized that people were concerned that what other impacts it could have. And we realized that we were not ready to move into that area. So we took that bold decision. We were humble. We didn't worry about how it would hurt our ego. Because it is the will of the people that is most important to us. We listened to the will of the people. We listened to their concerns. And that's a great example of how this government works. And even in this project, it is going to be the will of the people. We are going to take the people on board. We are going to consult them. We will show them the good side of these projects. There is no question of bulldozing and going against the will of the people. We are here to serve the people of the state, sir. It's not about whether Chief Minister is right or he is wrong. What is important is the larger good of our people and our state. And that is what drives us to work, sir. Sir, in this project, we had a desire to start the large bottling unit. 300 crore investment would create 500 jobs. We faced challenges. Ultimately, the investors decided that they will shift the investment to Mendipata. In the same area, there's a large investment of close to 700 crores, which we are working for the last 1 year, for areas of bamboo processing. But again, we are facing challenges. And now this project is going to Tikrikela, where we'll be setting up the 700 crore investment. So we are, as suggested by honorable members, we are not just confining ourselves to one location. We're taking the suggestions in a positive manner. Again, listening to the will of our people, our members, and expanding the areas. I was speaking to our member from Karkutta, Mr. Rupert. He was telling me that he would like to put up an industrial estate in Adokri. Because after the 4-laning comes up there, it will be a matter of just 45 minutes drive from Adokri industrial area to Guwahati airport and to main Guwahati city. A very, very good location for setting up large-scale industries. In fact, we are just finalizing on few areas of food processing, like banana as well as pineapple, because his area is very rich in it. So yes, sir, we are not just simply allowing ourselves to be, fixed and be stubborn and say it has to happen here. Absolutely not, sir. We desire, the companies desire, but we are giving options to them and they're choosing whichever option that they like, sir. So we have options. We will never force. We are given options of 2, so about 1,000 crores investment have just been finalized, and we are hopeful that this thing should move very fast. So we are doing, sir. We are keeping options open and we are allowing things. There's a pharmaceutical company that wants to put up a local pharmaceutical unit out here to produce generic medicine using high-end technology brought in from Switzerland and European nations. And they wanted to set up the industry here. And this would then provide the very important medicine at very, very low rate to the people of our state and the entire northeast region. And a small area of about 5 acres was required for this. And this would involve our BE Pharma and masters in pharma. Close to about 30 of them would be employed in this location. And now again, this project, most probably, because of the not availability of land, we have shown them place in Mendipatar. We are hopeful that this will also close out there. So, sir, we are moving forward. But I just wanted to share that we are giving the options. We are allowing the investors to come and see. We have a small window. We have huge challenges from neighboring states who are offering much more to different large industries. And so we have to compete. So we cannot be made to look as if these issues are coming up too much in front. So I have a lot of challenge, sir. Because for them, it's a matter of second they'll decide, we're going to go to Assam or we'll go to Arunachal Pradesh. There's no reason for them to just be in Meghalaya. So these challenges are there, sir. But as I said, at the end of the day, we have to realize that while we do take care of these issues, I am not saying that these issues are not important. Absolutely, they're important. Absolutely. Is there any question of bulldozing? No question of bulldozing. No question. Any question of bypassing the local people? Absolutely not. No question of bypassing anybody, sir. But we need to find a way forward. That is all I'm saying. We need to find a way forward. We have to find options. We have to find solutions. If there are issues and challenges, as I said, we're ready to discuss and to share and to address concerns. And this is a great opportunity, as I said, for me to share that. That's why in the beginning I said, sir, I'm happy that this short duration discussion has come up, because this has allowed me to really clarify on so many important aspects. So, sir, we are continuing our efforts. We will continue to engage with the local leadership. He's a good friend of mine. He calls me even at 2 o'clock in the morning sometimes when there's a problem in the constituency. And I am with him, sir. I am with him in the concerns that he has for his people. I am with the people of that area and the concerns that they have. And I want to give assurance that we will move forward only with the consent of the local people and the consent of the local leaders. I assure that, sir. But I also urge and encourage to have an open mind, to understand the overall larger picture of what we are trying to do out here, and walk and talk and find a way if there can be a meeting point where your concerns also are addressed. And we also as a state don't lose out the opportunity of these large investments and the job and creation and employment that we can get, and the different benefits of the different products that the people of the state will get. And I think it's important, sir, we all look at it from that larger picture. I've always mentioned, even yesterday, in fact, I was mentioning, because in the governor's debate, there was an issue and a question about unemployment. And I started by my reply by saying that this entire governor's address, the entire budget exercise is to create employment. That is the crux of everything that we're doing, sir. Period. That is what is driving us. How many jobs can we create for our youngsters? That is really what it is. And that one focal point then allows us to do multiple activities and then link up, whether it's skills, whether it's entrepreneurship, whether it is tourism, whether it's IT, so on and so forth. And therefore, what we're doing today with the investment promotion policy is exactly this, sir. There's a concern by many people about the fact that we will be simply giving away land to the private sector and we'll be bypassing the Land Transfer Act. Sir, there is no question, I want to make it clear on the floor of the House, there is no question of bypassing the Land Transfer Act. The Meghalaya Investment Promotion Agency will never bypass the Land Transfer Act. It is one of the most important acts that we have. It is one of the acts that has protected our people for years. And there is no way in which an agency can overrule an act that has been passed by this House. So let it be clear that there is no question of the Land Transfer Act being bypassed by the Meghalaya Investment Promotion Agency. The procedures that have been followed in the past, whether it is through the MIDC, whether it is through MTDC, whether it is through other government agencies that are there, MECL, it is the same provisions that will be followed by MIPA, nothing new. So the question of MIPA getting, the Meghalaya Investment Promotion Agency getting special powers does not arise. Why we did it? We did it because we realized that the single window is an industries department based nodal agency, focusing more on general industries that are there. But in today's world, people want to invest in a new hospital. In fact, we are having a beautiful hospital coming up in Khanapara side. Now, industries department doesn't have any clue, with due respect, about what requires for a medical hospital to come up, what criteria are there, what kind of standards to be followed. So, is the single window competent enough to do that? Well, maybe not. Tomorrow there are so many people who want to set up private colleges and universities, want to invest hundreds of crores. Where do they go? If they go to industries department, again with due respect, what are the standards to be followed? What are the different yardsticks that are there? Industries department may not have the necessary information. Yes, we can call the education department, we can send the file to them, we can do all of these things, but government cannot work like that. Government requires an institutionalization of systems. Things that will follow a process so that there is an ease of doing business. If tomorrow somebody wants to put up a big processing unit, agriculture department needs to be involved, horticulture, food processing needs to be involved, so on and so forth. Sir. So today we are having large investments in sports. Very happy to inform that the Northeast United will be setting up one of the best residential football academies right here in Shillong. Large investment will be made by them. Now for them to process this, how do they process it? So it is with that intention, only to streamline this, because again, sir, I want to go back to the budget speech yesterday. If you remember my first point, which I mentioned, the 10 opportunities, the first one was private investment. And I mentioned that the private investment will require $1 billion to be invested. That's about 8,000 crores plus. Now we have that goal. But to answer, sir, I'm replying, sir. This is not correct, sir. You don't disturb when others are replying.
What is your point of order?
On the Rule 300 and Rule 52, sir, no formal motion. There shall be no formal motion before the House nor voting. The member who has given notice may make a short statement and the minister shall reply shortly. So, sir, I think we have also submitted an amendment regarding that amendment brought by the government as far as the issue of Land Transfer Act is concerned. We will discuss, sir. We are ready to debate and discuss, but now we have to go by the rules, sir, because he has taken too much time on this short duration, sir. Sir,
is my
please,
responsibility.
if we are to go by the rules, sir, the rule speaks out clearly that the minister shall reply shortly. We are not allowed to speak, to give a lengthy
Sir,
speech.
there were 5-6 people who participated.
Still, sir, you have to go by the rule.
Sir,
we are not allowed as member to speak, to give a lengthy speech.
I'm allowing the Chief Minister to complete his reply.
Thank you, sir. Sir, I may put this to the knowledge of the members. When it comes to them bringing out issues, they can take as much time as they want. But when we have to reply to it, they don't want to listen to reply. This is not the way, sir, House works.
We are not allowed to give long speech, sir. In fact, we are restrained with 10 minutes and 5 minutes time, sir.
So the
I think that is clear. The record is there.
Reply. These are all matters connected.
You may continue with your reply.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir. So therefore, the aspect of, and so why I'm connecting to this is because I need to explain that why we are going for this industrial zone and why we want it to come up. We want it to come up because we have to achieve all these things that we're doing. It's just not a decision we take one morning and say, let us take this land and convert it into industrial estate. No. It's part of a larger strategy for us to be able to achieve that goal, to be able to take our state to an 85,000 crore economy, create the 5 lakh jobs that we have promised. That is what I'm trying to explain, sir. So anyway, I will conclude, sir. I think the honorable members, as I mentioned, are more interested in only mentioning their points, but they don't have the patience to listen to the reply. I have nothing to say, sir. So I will clarify only a few more last points, sir, that when it comes to the MIPA, we have brought in this agency only to facilitate and promote the entire aspect of investment in the state, sir. And therefore, the question of us bypassing the public, bypassing the local leaders, bypassing our laws that have been laid decades back does not arise, is what my point was. MIPA is simply there to facilitate, and they will follow the same yardstick, the same rules, the same policies that have been followed in the past many, many years and decades by government agencies like MIDC, like MTDC, and so on and so forth, sir. So therefore, I would like to make that very, very important clarification. Honorable member has raised concerns about the overall air quality and water quality. I have replied yesterday that we have been conducting surprise checks many times. In fact, just in the last 3 months, almost 4 to 5 surprise checks have been done. They will continue. In fact, I will be making them more aggressive, let me assure you, because I am very, very particular about this myself. I will just tell you and share with you that I had given a call. I don't know if our principal secretary is there or not, but I called up my principal secretary at 11:30 in the night and told him, I want you to go tomorrow night itself, quietly, to Bernihart and check for yourself whether the standards are being met or not. Don't even inform the chairman or any officers. It's just between you and me. And only the last moment he informed them and took them. And that's how we closed down 4 or 5 units out there. by doing this surprise check. That is the kind of commitment that we are showing, sir. And we will continue to do it. We will continue to do it. And therefore, let me again assure all the members who have raised this issue, especially the remover of this short discussion, and especially my dear friend Basotun, who is the local MLA, who was very concerned. He brought the local people to me. He brought the local villagers out there and all the people, and they have expressed their concerns. Sir, I am also concerned, and I can assure them that only when we show the plans to them, we show the details to them, and only when the people feel that yes, we are comfortable with this plan, and then we can move forward, will we move forward. So that assurance I'm giving the honourable member and the people of Barnihat in Jirang constituency and the people of the state at large. For us, it doesn't make any sense to bulldoze and do the things that are against the will of the people, sir. And therefore, once again thanking the honourable member for giving me this opportunity. So I look at it as an opportunity. I really was able to clarify so many misconceptions and so many areas. So I was very happy when this particular short duration came out. And I urge members to please come out with more such short duration discussions, because it allows us to clarify so many things that the people sometimes are misunderstanding. So with these few words, sir, I once again thank the mover and the participants for bringing this particular short duration discussion. And with this clarification, I resume my seat. Thank you, sir.
Only two observations. One is that I would like to express my deep sense of appreciation for all the clarification. It is always important to see that what we articulate in the House in sync with the is sync with the desire of the people to know what exactly is happening. So while I thank the Chief Minister for this exhaustive reply, but at the same time, I think there are two things which I would like to bring to the notice. One is that we have not, I didn't hear any member alleging the government in this instant case of bulldozing. We did not. I did not hear anyone that we say that the government is bulldozing. That is one part. I think he must have misheard or we are being misquoted. Another thing is regarding the forest. In my submission, I made it abundantly clear that when we define forest, irrespective of the your legal status, the definition of forest is defined as per the Act. So what this Honorable CM has referred to, that this particular land is not a forest land. We do not say that it is a notified forest land or it falls under the notified state reserve forest. But what is the definition of forest? The definition of forest is that all land more than 1 hectare in area with a tree canopy density of more than 10%, irrespective of ownership of legal status. See? So there's a definition. I think we also said once when our Honorable Deputy CM himself was looking at the forest. We have fine-tuned, redefined this definition, because this definition is always important for legal interpretation and whenever there is a legal conflict. So I think this particular reference to this area that it is not a forest land is not from the perspective of that this area is covered under state reserve forest. No, but it is from the perspective of the definition as per the law.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I respect the point mentioned by the Honorable LO, but the point here is we go with the official records that we have. My statement was very clear. As per our records, and I'm talking as of today, the 6th of March 2025, as per our records, this is not a recorded forest land. That is my statement, sir. Nothing beyond that. Now, if it has to be recorded as a forest land, which is under government forest land, the procedure which we followed, when we to notify, we will do all those things. That is aside. So post 6th of March, tomorrow, yes. Then we go into this, because that is a procedure we to follow. But as of today, it is not a record forest land. So what I'm saying, to keep quoting it, otherwise, sir, from that point of view, Whole state is forest. And then everything, so tomorrow also suppose I say that we are going to start a college out here, we'll say, oh, forest land is being used for college. So we can be generic in that line, which is also okay. But I'm going purely with a pure definition that is there. And I'm just saying that as per the records on the 6th of March 2025, it is not a record forest. Tomorrow, if somebody writes, if somebody moves, we go ahead, we sign it, we find out how many trees are there, and all those calculations that is there as per the definition. That scenario is, sir, from tomorrow onwards. So I'm just talking today, as of now, the specific point that is there. As I said, it's just to set the record straight, because we keep saying forest land, forest land, forest land. So for it to be a forest land, it has to be categorized. It is not categorized as of today. As of today, it's not categorized as a forest land. That's all I'm saying, sir.
Karpran, since you brought this short duration discussion, you may seek one clarification, please.
Yes, sir. I would like to thank the Honorable Chief Minister for the reply. But as he said that this is not a forest land, but I believe that it is a plantation, because we saw so many trees are there in this 137 acres of land, and even fruit trees have seen there. So may the Honorable Chief Minister clarify on the matter.
Sir, again, it's the same point that Honorable LO has just mentioned. That, yes, if we go as per the Meghalaya Forest Regulation Act, so if there are 250 trees per hectare in a compact land of 4 hectares, then that is defined as a forest. But, sir, for that definition to be applicable, there has to be a process that is followed. And then after we do that, we declare that this is a forest land. That process has not happened. And hence, for us to say this is forest today without that process being followed, because suppose there are 249 trees, we don't know. So till that doesn't happen, all I'm saying is that we cannot use that word, is all I'm saying. Obviously, sir, from that angle, the whole of the state of Meghalaya is a forest. But my only simple point, and point being, sir, that we are always using this forest land word, and that is giving a completely different connotation to the entire discussion. It's an institute which has got a lot of trees in it. We are working towards, and obviously for industrial development, if it has to happen, then obviously we'll follow the procedure. If it is tomorrow is declared as a forest land, then the Forest Act will apply, where we have to then go for afforestation and procedures that are there that need to be followed, so on and so forth. So that's all I'm saying, sir. But for us to just start the discussion and debate by saying that this is a forest land being transferred industrial and kind of dramatizing the whole point, sir, I mean, it sounds nice, that's why we say it. All I'm saying is that it'll be better to be very specific on it. There are trees, no doubt, and tomorrow it could be declared a forest land, government forest or community forest or whatever, and we'll be happy to move forward in that line, and then procedures will follow. So if it is not a forest land declared, then a different procedure is followed. If tomorrow it is declared a forest land, as of now, as I said, it's not, because the procedure has not been followed. Then, obviously, if it's a forest, then we'll have to follow the procedure. That is all I'm saying, sir. But as of now, on the 6th of March, it is not as a recorded forest land in the records of the state government, is all I'm saying.
Now we come to item number 3, resolution. Now we will take up a resolution to be moved by Dr. Mukul Sangma, MLA and Leader of Opposition. Whereas successive government of the state since the inception of the state have embarked upon a number of developmental and policy initiatives to bring governance closer to the people of the state and usher the state into an era of progress and prosperity. And whereas the hopes and aspirations of the people of western part of the state, comprising of 5 districts of Garo Hills, generated the felt need of creation of winter capital at Tura for ensuring equitable and inclusive development of the region as a whole, which is in sync with the dreams and desires of our founder leaders of the state, with the shared objective of creating a sense of oneness among our three major tribes of the state. And whereas a number of civil society organizations of Garo Hills have collectively put their voice on behalf of the people of Garo Hills to urge upon the state government to give fruition to this demand of having winter capital at Tura. Now therefore, this House do now resolves to urge upon the government to examine the demand with sincerity and empathy for the establishment of winter capital at Tura. Dr. Mukul Sangma, Leader of Opposition, please. Any members, willing to participate may give their names so that I can regulate the time.
Mr. Speaker, sir, at the very outset, I would like to thank you for enabling me to move this resolution from the bottom of my heart. So with your permission, Mr. Speaker, sir, I beg to move this resolution. Whereas successive government of the state, since the inception of the state, have embarked upon a number of developmental and policy initiatives to bring governance closer to the people of the state and usher the state into an era of progress and prosperity. And whereas the hopes and aspirations of the people of the western part of the state, comprising of the 5 districts of Garo Hills, generated the felt need of creation of winter capital at Tura for ensuring equitable and inclusive development of the region as a whole, which is in sync with the dreams and desires of our founder leaders of the state, with a shared objective of creating a sense of oneness among our 3 major tribes of the state. And whereas a number of civil society organizations of Garo Hills have collectively put their voice on behalf of the people of Garo Hills to urge upon the state government to give fruition to this demand of having winter capital at Tura. Now, therefore, this House do resolve to urge upon the government to examine the demand with sincerity, empathy for the establishment of winter capital at Tura.
Resolution moved. You may now initiate the discussion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. Now, this resolution, I have made a conscious decision to table this resolution for the consideration of this august House, keeping in mind the background which in a nutshell I have incorporated in my resolution itself and which is self-explanatory. Now, Mr. Speaker, sir, successive governments after the inception of this beautiful state of ours have put their collective effort to bring us thus far. And as I grew up, I saw, even at the time of the statehood movement, I was a small kid then, but then these whole voices still echo in my ear. I can still remember the words that used to echo around in the distant part of the state. One of the most backward places then, at that point of time, Ampati. Meghalaya will shine tonight. Meghalaya will shine tonight. All the young kids. And it became a part of, a song which used to echo everywhere. How the leaders of the state thought that collective endeavor with unity can enable them to overcome the challenge of having this beautiful statehood. And so those are the background. As we grew up, we saw that after the statehood movement ultimately paved the way to have this beautiful state, how the leaders used to engage in discussion. And those discussions, again, are carried forward through word of mouth. Now, that's why I have indicated here in the resolution itself that this particular objective to prevail upon all of us as the policymaker and the people who can actually give fruition to this collective desire of the people of that part of the western part of the state. I have said that this is in sync with the dreams and desires of founder leaders of the state, with a shared objective of creating a sense of oneness among our three major tribes of the state. I want to place on record and would like to revere these leaders and their wisdom, because their wisdom revolved around the power of unity and oneness, which was due to their unconditional love for our people who needed, separate statehood so that our people can be governed by our own people with their own genius. And there was that kind of environment amongst the leaders, because as I was growing up as a child, I could at least be party to the words that used to echo at the time of leaders sitting together and conversing. I think many of the citizens of the state who belong to our generation, my contemporaries and my seniors, will stand witness to this very shared desire and intent of our forefathers, the great leaders who paved the way to enable us to have this kind of discussion now in this August House. Yes, today we are here because of that far-sighted, collective resolve to put their, whatever potentialities they have as leaders on behalf of our people. At that point of time, prior to statehood, I know how we can easily connect with the kind of livelihood that our people were subjected to. Poverty, hunger, starvation, and death due to starvation. I have myself seen at the time of when I was still in my upper primary school, those days we used to call it middle school. Many of the traditional hats from different villages converging to my parents' house to write a report to the police stations about the death of people due to starvation. Those days were there. We have overcome those days. But why I'm trying to refer to this past is because unless these leaders would have come together, maybe we would have taken much more longer time to still overcome those kind of hardship and constraint. Today, we are fortunate that we don't hear about starvation anywhere. Of course, we have the challenges of nutritional deficiency, etc., etc. There are various other factors which contribute to that. But at least God has been kind to us. This beautiful land has enabled all our people to prosper and multiply. This is what God has promised, that you shall inherit the land of your parents and possess it, and you shall prosper and multiply. We have prospered and multiplied. We are prospering and multiplying. But this whole prosperity and this whole blessings that comes, obviously, is because of the core values of our people, core values of our forefathers, which we still would like to preserve and practice. The core values which revolves around the sense of oneness, compassion, love, as brethren, despite belonging to different major tribes. It must be only pertinent for me to remind ourselves, if Garos would have fought separately for statehood, would it have been possible for us to prevail? If only Khasi tribe would have fought for statehood, would have been possible for us to prevail? So I think that connect of the past gives us an insight into how the power of, coming together out of love, compassion to our own people together have enabled us to achieve this statehood. And today, I would like to also place on record my deep sense of appreciation and my gratitude and gratefulness to all the leaders. after the statehood, how each of the successive governments have contributed to position us today. Today, Meghalaya is talked about. Meghalaya has been able to brand itself as one of the most potential states to be a model state in the whole country. I remember when I went to meet our Congress chairperson after assuming the office of Chief Minister. Two things which reminded me after I assumed office repeatedly and based on which I communicated to her without even meeting, only through letters, was that, Mukul, Meghalaya is such a beautiful state. The potentiality of your people and the state is something beyond compare. And I have faith in you, Mukul. Do whatever you can and position your state as a model state. Then she reminded me, I am not saying that you shall position your state as a model state only for the northeastern region. Position your state as the model state in the whole country. So this is the kind of perception that people, the leaders of this country has about Meghalaya. We have the potentiality. Our people have the potentiality. And we must believe, and we believe. That's why we are here. Because we want to give fruition to their desires, their dreams. And I think collectively we can do it. Therefore, the spirit of oneness, that whole issue of love and compassion and being good to your neighbor, because I reminded the House yesterday about what is written in Scripture. Because it says, "Oh, nothing to anybody except to love one another." Because one who has learned to love one another has fulfilled the law. It's a state where most of us are faithful and fear God. And based on that spirit and our core values, which is again deeply connected with our faith, today we are doing what we are doing. But there are many more things that we need to do. Therefore, if our brethren are reminding us of this shared desire, the collective desire of the people of the western part of the state, I think it is only appropriate and fit for us to urge the government to examine this particular desire of the people. Therefore, I would like to also, I think, place on record my sense of appreciation for at least the Honorable Chief Minister, who agreed to meet those people who were spearheading this particular demand on behalf of the people of the state of Meghalaya. Though it didn't end the way it should have. I sincerely wish that it should have been, means the end to that meeting and discussion in Tura should have ended in a different positive environment, but it did not happen. Rather, somehow or other, I think we went out of our way to create a situation which ultimately generated a sense of doubt about the willingness of leaders who belong to this current dispensation, both ruling and opposition, that we weren't willing to listen nor willing to discuss. And therefore you create a fear psychosis. Eventually, after much of that incident, we all know which shouldn't have happened. I have elaborately articulated that concern in the preceding session in the August House. Because somehow or other, the district administration went out of the way to even book our boys and girls, the youth, under laws which are applied for terrorists. Therefore, I think there is some kind of doubt on us, on our sincerity, on our intent by the people of Garowitz. I have heard the whole narrative which is echoing in that part of the state. Therefore, as parents, when we look at the demand of our children, if one of the sons tend to feel that the parents are completely indifferent and insensitive and not willing to even listen, we know what happens. The delinquency, the frustration, the rebellion, that is how it starts. Any hope, which any decision, any milestone that we achieve, which generates hope. Hope, if that hope cannot be fulfilled, then what comes? Frustration. After frustration, anger. After anger, rebellion, then chaos. Therefore, it is always important for us to remember the past, reconnect with the past, how we have gone through those turbulent times, how we have not been able to really deal with the whole frustration, anger, rebellion in the state. Today, we have been able to overcome that challenge, that problem. Our youth who were otherwise, for whatever reasons, misguided or otherwise, however we refer to them, they decided to come back. All of them came back. It was only a different issue that the then so-called commander-in-chief of GNLA did not agree to come back because of other reasons. But peace has been restored. I remember that time when elections were on, when we were confronted by an incident where one of the candidates has to lose his life. Subsequently, when I was campaigning, I was advised by my security advisors and the department concerned, sir, you may cancel your programs during election. That was the kind of situation in the western part. Today, we have overcome that. Today, there is a peaceful environment. That's why people are coming to invest. That's why Meghalaya is being seen as, yes, it's the place which should be taken as the most favored destination. And therefore, it is very important for us to sustain the peace which we have achieved with great difficulty. I'm sure the Honorable Chief Minister and also the Deputy Chief Minister who looks after home knows what is happening. We have concern, and I would urge upon CM to call also the State Security Commission meeting immediately. Things are not good. Frustration, anger, rebellion is not something which augur well for the state. Therefore, there are children. All these people who have put their voice collectively are definitely only articulating their aspirations, their dreams. And therefore, let us, with empathy and utmost sense of sincerity, to fulfill our role as parents, as leaders, as demonstrated by our revered leaders of the past. Let us all come together and urge the government through this resolution that we adopt this resolution today to urge the government to examine the demand with sincerity, empathy for the establishment of intercapital at Tura and give fruition to this shared desire, the collective desire of the people. And discussion, as we embark upon, discussion cannot be something which can be just completed overnight. It will have its own courses of discussions. I think a number of times whenever we had to discuss on issues concerning people, even discussing pertaining to the aspirations, the collective aspirations of the people, we have taken time. There is no shortcut. We may take time, but the intent of us to engage and discuss on this issue must be demonstrated by us with utmost sense of sincerity and commitment, not lip service. Let it come from our heart. And I also shared this view earlier when I was privileged to be the leader of this August House, that we can, I appreciate the government. The CM has had a number of cabinet meetings outside Shillong, outside the state capital. That is something which demonstrates. Yes, we would like to, even though our state is so small, but we know how the state is. You know, the aspirational issues are always there. So going to Jaintia Hills, going to Sora to have cabinet meetings, going to Tura and having cabinet meetings, we must appreciate it. Yes, it sends message. It has a powerful message. Similarly, I subscribe to the idea prior to 2018 that we should have even assembly session in Joy. We should have assembly session in Tura. When we tried to do this, of course, you know, there were so many other associated burden which comes along with that proposal. But then it is doable. 2 days session in Tura or 3 days session in Tura, 2 days session in 3 days session in Joy, or some other day session even in Nongstoin. So some of my friends say, sir, where will we have infrastructure? So I said, we are giving money to district council, more than 100 crore. Let the district council look at, you know, constructing a beautiful new chamber for them. I expected, we gave huge amount of money. And I suggested to them also, look at that place, talk to the clan, where the clan, the people have been so generous and with their utmost concern for getting development, agreed to give that 100 acres of land for medical college, that 300 acres in Doldigri. Now this constituency has become the constituency of one of our newly elected leaders, a woman leader from Gambigri. And lots of infrastructure is taking place there. So I told them, get some land. The district council chamber in Hawakhana is in the midst of a very crowded place. Create some natural expansion, like what we are doing in Shillong, taking the assembly building to new township, giving 80 acres of land, and then allow a natural expansion of the city. But of course, they decided it otherwise. They spend the money for others. But then we can always look at, even with existing infrastructures. Joy has district council to accommodate 60 of us. If we can have this assembly prior to having our permanent assembly building in this auditorium, which was not designed for hosting an assembly session, we can always find a way. Where there's a will, there is a way. So I think even as I propose this House to resolve to adopt this resolution, my submission before the August House is that may the government look at this proposal also, start having assembly sessions in different parts of the state, at least a short session. It is not impossible, it is not too difficult. I have examined it during our time. The only thing is that we could not do it, so the desire and wish may be shared by all of us. Maybe the Chief Minister is already having it in his mind, I never know. But then I think sometimes we think together, we think same thing sometimes. So I would like to again remind us, the privileged members of this August House. Many of us are witness to this conversation. The conversation of the shared desire of our forefathers, our revered leaders of the past. So I would not like to lengthen my submission because the intent is very clear. The voice has echoed from there, and this is not a voice, I think it is not something which is politicized. It is only, a voice which represents, the whole collective desire, because this whole conversation has been doing the round and round and round, and ultimately it emanated as a voice representing the people. So with these few words, may I, therefore, seek the support of all our distinguished, illustrious members of this August House. Our forefathers, our revered leader of the past have demonstrated their resolve to come together and take very tough decisions and overcome challenges. And that's how they have glued us together with the power of love to have this sense of spirit of sense of oneness, where the sense of brotherhood and love prevails. And we must, as leaders, really look at this very powerful weapon, the weapon of love, to unite our people together. And for it is written, for love doesn't harm the neighbor. The love doesn't do any harm to the neighbor. That's why love is the fulfillment of it. And it is nothing but this power of law, the power of love, which has brought us here in this August House. We love our people. That's why we want to serve our people. That's why all the distinguished 60 members are here. People may say many things about politicians. People think that we are the only people who are not good. We don't belong to the so-called good class, honest class. You see in electronic media, you see anywhere, people are prompt to actually jump to conclusion and comment on politicians, as though what good things have happened have not happened because of the politician. Any good thing that has happened in the state, any good thing that has happened in the country is because of the politicians, because of the policymakers. The law that has been made are by the lawmakers, because all the law is an offshoot of the commandment of God. So have we not fulfilled our purpose? Yes. It is the politicians who have brought our people thus far. It is the politicians and policymakers who are responsible to see that our people don't starve anymore, but are in this era where we share the same dream like people in West. You look at us, dress up like Western people. That day I saw when the president of Ukraine went to America, one of the reporter, media confronted him about the dress even. So whatever it is, I think speaks volumes. These are something which should enable us to really convince ourselves that God has been kind to us and have blessed us. Let our people prosper and multiply in this day. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. With these few words, I urge upon all our friends, our colleagues in this August House, to be pleased to agree to this resolution and resolve unanimously to adopt this resolution. I heard that the honorable member from Rongjeng, my neighbor, his people and my people from the respective constituencies go to the same market, go to the same hospital, go to the same school. If the teachers are there, good teachers, they share the benefit of coming out with flying colors. One very good school is there in Rongjeng. All my children from my area also go there. So, these are all interconnected. So I think I have made my point. All my distinguished friends and colleagues of this August House, may God bless you with wisdom and knowledge. And may we all not lean on our own understanding, but lean on the wisdom of God. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. Once again, with these few words, I hope that everybody will actually agree with me to adopt this resolution unanimously. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir.
I have received notes who are willing to participate in this discussion. First of all, I call upon Sri Celestine Lingdo, MLA, to take the floor.
Honorable Speaker, sir, I rise to take part on this resolution. It is very difficult to say at the start whether I support or I don't support the resolution. But at the end of my speech, it will be very clear. The resolution brought by Honorable Leader of Opposition, as already stated, different states demanding different headquarters or winter capitals. Meghalaya is not the first one. There are already existing states like Himachal Pradesh having their winter capital in Shimla and their summer capital in Dharamsala. So also Jammu and Kashmir, their winter capital is Jammu and Srinagar, the winter capital. So also Maharashtra and the others. But what is the difference between us in Meghalaya and the other states? As the mover of the resolution himself has mentioned, Meghalaya is a very small state, sir. Compare our size with Maharashtra. Compare our size with Jammu and Kashmir. I think there is a lot of difference in the size and topography of the states. Now, when I read at the resolution in the middle paragraph, second paragraph, and whereas the hopes and aspirations of the people of western part of the state, comprising of the 5 districts of Garo Hills, generated the felt need of creation of winter capital at Tura for ensuring equitable and inclusive development of the region as a whole, which is in sync with the dreams and desires of our forefathers, leaders of the state, with the shared objective of creating a sense of oneness among the 3 major tribes of the state. Mr. Speaker, sir, we live in an age and era of information technology. Now, as I speak, live telecast is going on. The demand for separate capital in winter in a different location, in summer in a different location, that feeling of not receiving equitable development, I think all these are all misconceptions. The battle in the towns and villages is the battle of narratives. I think it will not be wrong for me to mention here that if you ask people in Khasi and Jaintia Hills, they will say all the development has been taken to Garo Hills. And if you go to Garo Hills, the same thing will be happening. All development has been taken to Khasi and Jaintia Hills. So, what is our role? I think it is incumbent on each and every member of this House that we should clarify this to our general population. Yesterday in the budget speech, the Honorable Chief Minister has declared a new Chief Minister scholarship scheme. Will it be inclusive for all the tribes? Absolutely, yes. That scholarship will be for every student of the state of Meghalaya, irrespective of the tribes. Is development being equitable so far? In an age where we have an act called the RTI Act, the allegations that a particular region of the state is not receiving enough funds or developments while the others are receiving, that is absolutely wrong. Anyone who has an iota of doubt that his region has been denied development can always file RTI to get the information that they want. So, sir, looking at the conditions that our state is in, I do not say that we are in a very bad shape. But should we follow the other states that have a lot of big gross state domestic product in the state? We are a poor state. If you check or Google what is the rank of Meghalaya in terms of poverty index, I think we are, if not at the bottom, we are 3rd or 4th bottom. If we check about our status in terms of education, that also we are at the bottom. Now, when we talk about the winter capital in Tura, I am not against it. But if we have to do that, there will be a lot of infrastructure investment that will have to be done.
The question that each one of us will have to ask is, will we utilize that fund to create more infrastructure just because our people want it, or will we decide to use the funds properly? The same funds that we plan to spend for a winter capital can be used for improving education, improve the infrastructure of our different government schools. We can improve our health, and so on and so forth. So at the present juncture, Mr. Speaker, sir, I feel, okay, having a committee to study this, there's no harm in it. But then giving a timeline or supporting that it has to be done at this juncture, I feel it is keeping the priorities at the wrong direction. From my point of view, I feel that this narrative that development is not equally distributed, that has to be cleared among the minds of our people. So having stated these few points, sir, I know there will be many speakers. I feel we cannot take up this resolution right now. I know many of our friends from Garo Hills will be hard-pressed not to say no against this resolution. It is very, very difficult for them to say no. But then consider the financial situation that we are in. We cannot act rich when we are poor. We cannot act developed when we are underdeveloped. So I appeal that everyone will understand this. Every member will take responsibility that whatever has happened in the past so many years, we are grateful to our forefathers who have created this state. Yes, I agree with the leader of opposition. If our Garo friends had fought it alone for a Garo state, will they achieve it? I doubt. If the Khasi tribe fought alone, will they get a separate state? I doubt. But now that we are one, let us work in such a way that our general population in all the regions and corners of the state feel as one. And the administration that is being done from Shillong, if need be, maybe we can improve it by developing the digital infrastructure. I'm not an expert on IT, but I think there are many services that can be made available online where each and every member and citizen of the state can feel that, yes, I can access the information, I can reach the help that I need and require. So, Mr. Speaker, sir, at this juncture, I do not support this resolution. Let us work together to bring friendship, unity among our different tribes within the state, that yes, our wealth is being equally distributed, our opportunities for jobs and all the other aspects in economic activities is being equally done for all corners of the state. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Speaker, sir.
Thank you. Now may I call upon Mr. T.D. Sira, MLA from Resubelpara.
Speaker, sir, I raise to participate in the discussions of this resolution. I seldom speak, but today I am tempted to speak a few words. Because this resolution is very interesting, at the same time it is very embarrassing for all of us. The idea of establishing a winter capital, the original idea of establishing a winter capital at Tura was not there. But the original idea was to have a winter session at Tura. The separatist state movement get momentum. In the year 1962, when Assam government decided to make Assamese a state language, Captain Sangma was tribal minister at the time. He had to resign from the ministership and lead the movement of the separatist state. But before 1962 also, the separatist state movement started. Captain Sangma and many other Khasi leaders like DDPU, BMPU, STD Dikorsroy, not STD Dikorsroy, Pyar Khandia, Bibi Lingdo, and many others. They have to go from one place to another, from one district to another district of Assam, to the all hill areas, to get the cooperation from the other hill areas to demand of the separatist state. There were no MPs in Meghalaya during Assam time. Only 10 MLAs were there. 4 MLAs from Garo Hills, 6 MLAs from Khasi Jantia Hills. Anyway, movement started. And then momentum of the demand, movement for separatist state started from 1962. So people start mocking. How can a different hill areas of Assam can be taken into a separatist state? But in the beginning, the leader from Karbi Anglong, some Terong, and then leader from North Kachar Hills, and leader from the Chakma tribe, and Mijos, Nagas also joined. They have separate regional parties, political parties. And all these separate, small regional parties, they merged together and formed a party, APHLC. That means All Party Hill Leaders Conference. Under the banner of this Hill Leaders Conference, they fought for the creation of separatist state. But later on, one by one, the Karbi Anglong leaders left. Then Mizoram leaders back out. Even Chakma leaders back out. Only 3 tribes, mainly Khasi, Garo, Jantia leaders, they are left. So there was a moment of frustration, disappointment for the leaders at that point of time. And then there was many criticism also. And from the other quarters, how can these 2 districts, Khasi, Jantia Hills, Garo Hills, be created into a state? But still our leaders, they hold on, they continue to demand. They met our late Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru, but he was very much adamant. He said, there will be no division of Assam, even if the blood of the tribal people flow like a stream. I am not going to divide Assam. That was the word. What? A word of disappointment and frustration for our leaders. Just imagine. But they continue despite all challenges. There are many commissions set up by Government of India to inquire about the genuine of the demand of the hill leaders. I remember one commission, the Talok Singh Commission. They come to Tura. And in those days, here in Shillong also, Assam headquarters is in Shillong. So many spies are there, so many reporters are there. So in order to avoid all this, most of the time, the conference and important meetings were held at Tura. Then they met again, Prime Minister, and his heart was open. He proposed a Scottish pattern to be given to the Hill State in place of Hill State, Scottish pattern. But it was rejected. See, our leaders had to face a lot of challenges while demanding for separatist state. Since there were no MPs, Khasi Janti Hills is take to Karbi Anglong and make one parliamentary constituency. Garo Hills is take to Tubri district to make one parliamentary constituency. So there were no MPs. And nobody is there in the parliament to voice the demand. So our leaders, they used to go to Delhi to lobby the support of some political parties like Swatandra Party. And with the support of the Swatandra Party, say, somehow they can voice the demand. And in the beginning, FSLC took the symbol of star that belongs to Swatandra Party. Then later on, it was changed into a roast. That is the symbol of the FSLC. There are some among the Hill leaders also who did not cooperate. Men like Maham Singh, men like Imon Singh, they never cooperate. They are totally against the demand. But our leaders, they continue, they become very much patient, and some of the leaders become impatient. He advocated that demanding for separate state with non-violence is not going to achieve. So we must collect arms and fight for our statehood. They collected some arms, but it was not used. That is why some leaders were expelled. Most of the majority of the Hill State leaders, they don't want violence. They want non-violence. And through non-violence, the Meghalaya state should be achieved. We are very fortunate. In 1970, the sub-state was given to our Hill State leaders. Peoples were objected. They started murmuring against our leader. But our leader, Captain Sama, says, look, there are a lot of hurdles, difficulties for us even to go to Delhi, because we don't have finance. Every time our leaders goes to Delhi, they used to collect from some businessmen. In those days, Garo Hills was very prosperous. Say, earning a lot of money from Jaru Mahal, timber trade. So, at Medipata, there are two big sawmills, run by G.S. Pandari, run by Jagadish Prasad Singh. From there, only they used to get some donation. They go to Delhi. So he said, we are going to Delhi like that. But once we get our substate, we can go to Delhi, talk to the leaders at Delhi with common cost. So he could convince. But after 2 years, in 1972, on the 21st January, we are fortunate to get the separated state. Leaders were very, very much happy and jubilant. And at that point of time, there was no feeling that you are a Khasi, you are a Jantia, you are a Garo. Everybody had a feeling that we belong to the same tribe. No such unity and solidarity they maintained in that point of time. So, when the question of reservation of job comes, they equally share 40% for Garos, 40% Khasis. That is based on that solidarity and unity. Here the word winter session at Tura comes from a Khasi leader, Basten. I remember him. See, it was sometime in the year 1973, because in the past there was summer session, autumn session, winter session, budget session. So, at the time of holding this session, during this period of session, winter session, a dinner was thrown in the residence of Captain Sangma. Their leaders flocked together. Nowadays, you see, even if there is a dinner thrown in the residence of chief minister also, many party leaders are not invited. But in those days, when there was any dinner thrown by any minister or chief minister, all the party leaders, party workers, they gather together, they enjoy, they talk together, they maintain the cordial relationship. So at that point of time, say one day, in one of the day of the session, during the session, the leaders are having some, chit-chat around the table. At the time, Mr. Sten said, it was very freezing. It was in the winter time. It was very freezing. So Basten said, here in Shillong it is difficult to have a winter session. It is quite freezing. But in Tura it will be comfortable. Why not we think of having a winter session there? From there this winter capital develops. Yes, idea is very good. I appreciate the idea, but on political principle, I cannot support this resolution. I cannot represent. Because what we say today in this house, it will be uploaded in the social media. And our political life will depend on that. So we have to be very clear. So, idea I appreciate, but I cannot support this. So with these few words, sir, I resume my seat.
Now I call upon Sri Jim M. Sangma, MLA from Rongjeng. You may speak.
Thank you, Speaker, sir. I also rise to speak here in the resolution moved by Honorable Leader of the Opposition. As his statement has been given earlier, even though I'm a good neighbor of the mover of this resolution, I'm a good mover, I'm a good neighbors, Songsak and Rongjeng. But I also stand here today not to support the resolution of my good neighbor, but I also like to speak and appreciate the idea of the demand for the winter capital in Tura. And sir, Speaker sir, and I also rise to present my remarks on the resolution moved by the Honorable Leader of the Opposition, Dr. Mukul Sangma, regarding the creation of Tura as a winter capital of Meghalaya. While I'll acknowledge the intent behind the resolution and the concerns of the people of Garo Hills, I must respectfully express my inability to support this resolution. But I strongly supported the demand for winter capital, not through this resolution today. Honorable Speaker, sir, the issue of Tura winter capital is not a new one. This demand is, it has been a matter of discussion for years, and it significantly was rightly highlighted in the Honorable Governor address to this August House. In fact, during the debate on the Governor address, I had the opportunity to raise the very issue of this matter, this winter capital, emphasizing the need to address the genuine concerns of the people of Garo Hills who seeks equitable development and administrative attention. However, Honorable Speaker, sir, while I stand in solidarity with the aspiration of the people of Garo Hills, I find it difficult to support this resolution moved by the Honorable Leader of the Opposition. Why I want to say something. If the Honorable, I seek a permission from Honorable Speaker also. I may need to speak in some sentence or words in Garo, with your permission, sir. If the Honorable Leader of the Opposition, sir, is indeed so deeply concerned about the welfare of the Garo people and the development of the Garo Hills, one must ask why this issue was not addressed during his tenure as the Chief Minister of Meghalaya. Sir, nanak ni, with respect, sir, nanak ni sumayo, yahudak nagata, manachum. In translation, you could have done this before in your tenure also, in this for 7 years as a Chief Minister, if he really interested to create the winter capital and for the people of the people to interest of the people of the Garo Hills. For over a decade, he had the opportunity, the authority, and responsibility to take the concrete steps towards making Tura in a winter capital, or to initiate measures that would have brought equitable development to the region. Yet, Speaker Sir, no such action was taken before. This, Speaker Sir, raises a serious question about the timing and intent behind this regulation. Answer. While I'm personally in favor of addressing the legitimate demands of the people of Garo Hills, as I cannot support that the resolution brought by Honorable LO today, because it appears to move up the political maneuver than a genuine effort to solve this issue. The creation of the winter capital is a complex matter that requires thorough deliberation, financial planning, administration, restructuring. It cannot be reduced to mere symbolized gesture of the political tool to gain favor, sir. Sir, I believe that the concerns of the people of Garo Hills must be addressed through sincere and actionable measures, not through regulation that lacks a clear roadmap of implementation, which brought up for the regulation today. Instead of focusing on the symbolic titles, we should prioritize tangible steps, such as decentralizing administrative functions, improving infrastructure, and ensuring equitable distribution of resources across all regions of Meghalaya, including Garo Hills. Sir, while I stand for the development and demand for creation of winter capital in Tura, but I cannot support this resolution in its current situation, in current form. And I urge the House and all the honorable members also to focus on the practical solution that will truly benefit the people of Garo Hills, rather than engaging in political posturing. Let us work together to ensure that every region of Meghalaya, including Garo Hills, receives the attention and development it deserves. So, sir, I don't want to speak more. So with this pure submission, I conclude my speech. Thank you, Honorable Speaker, sir.
Thank you. Now may I call upon Renington L. Tongkar, MLA, to speak his mind.
Thank you, sir, for allowing me also to participate on this resolution that has been brought by Honorable LO in this Accords House today. Now, therefore, this House do now resolve to urge upon the government to examine the demand with sincerity and empathy for the establishment of winter capital at Tura. Sir, while listening to the deliberation of Honorable LO, I question to myself whether it is really important that each state to have two capitals, and that question me also, how many states in India do we have two capitals? That made me to look at the Google. And Honorable MA from Umsning has already informed us that yes, there are some states who have demanded and have capital in different seasons of the year. Sir, number one, which I want to start in my deliberation is that Shillong is our capital of all three tribes and not just 3 tribes, but other tribes also who reside and who stay in Shillong. We love Shillong, and I would urge every tribe in the state of Meghalaya to take Shillong as our own capital, and let us respect and love this capital that we got and recognized by the people of the entire state and the people of India that we are living in this lovely own capital, Shillong. Sir, anything that we do, I always ask and question about merit and demerits. Of course, one of the reasons may be because I'm a businessman before I joined politics. So I always ask anything that we do, the merit and demerits of that thing that we are going to do. Or you may say profit or loss. Sir, why talking about the winter capital at Tura, I am always thinking, what is the merit of the state and what are the demerits of the state while doing that? I have nothing against of that movement, but I always question to myself, do we really able to afford to spend so much of expenditure? I don't know whether the government has done the accounts of expenditure of the cabinet going from one district to another. The government has tried to shift the cabinet from one district to another, whether they have done any account, how much that the government has spent on this, and what is the benefit of this. I thought of requesting the government even to think to bring the cabinet to Southwest Khasi Hills, but I'm still thinking whether really this benefit the people of the district. I am still not sure whether if we bring the cabinet in the district of Southwest Khasi Hills, will it benefit the people out there? Or instead of spending that, better to bring any developmental activities in the district. That's why I have just kept mum myself, and I have not requested our Honorable Chief Minister to bring the cabinet to our district also, because I'm still not sure and I do not understand what is the benefit of doing that. Sir, to develop the capital or to develop the district, I think we have so many other means and ways to develop. I will be the happiest person to see that Tura, it's not only winter city, but it can be all 4-season city. Why only winter? It can be a developed city, it can be a good city for all 4 seasons of the year. And we love going to Tura. I went there so many times, and I still want to go, because I love looking at the beautiful of Tura city. And yes, I'm the one who always say that I am not favor living or staying in a cold place, and I always want to stay in a warm place. I used to talk this in our family at my home also, that I want to stay, especially during my retirement time. I want to find out somewhere which is a warm place to stay, especially during winter. But sir, the question is that, are we able to afford this need as the state of Meghalaya? That to stay one house in the summer and another house in the winter, wow, it's very good if we can do that. Some celebrities, they are able to do that, to change every season, even to change the cars every week. That some week they will feel like driving in another car, and another week they will feel like going by another car, changing their car every week. They are able to do so. But when we are not able, we are happy even having one car, and we try to have the facilities in that same car When we require to warm the car, we have to on the heater. And when we require also to have cold, we on the AC. We have to try to find ways and means to comfort in the same car, because we are not able to sit to have so many cars according to the climate. So therefore, I really fail to understand whether it is really so important to have two capitals in such a small state of Meghalaya. Of course, another thing is that since we have fought this state together, as rightly said by Honorable Deputy Speaker, he has said that we fought this state together. Our forefathers, Khasi, Garos, and Jantia, they fought this state together, and I hope that they love to stay together like this. Speaker, sir, I am concerned on this matter, and yes, as rightly said also by our Honorable LO, that love each other and let us always talk about the oneness of this state, of this beautiful state. We want to see the oneness of this beautiful state, to understand each other, to respect each other, and if possible, sir, if we can bring matters that always remind us that we are together, it will be very, very good. Any subject that we bring, any subject that we talk, it will be very good and in the fitness of things. If we have the subject which will bring us more closer and to feel that oneness, that we are together, we have fought this state together, and we will live together. That it's my point, sir. And my last point, sir, I want to say that let the location of our capital do not divide ourselves. The location of the capital that is located should not divide ourselves. But we will see that this is God's plan. And we really appreciate our forefather for deciding Shillong as a capital. Because if we consider the climate in the entire state, I think you will agree with me that the state capital Shillong, it is having the best climate in the state of Meghalaya. It is not too hot, it is not too cold, it's bearable during summer hot, it is bearable during winter chill. That's why, sir, I believe that this capital that has been decided, it is the best location that we stick as our capital. Sir, I don't want to lengthen my speech, but I really want to see that oneness and closeness and respect to each other should prevail in the state of Meghalaya, and we will continue to work together. With these few words, sir, I resume my seat. Thank you.
Now may I call upon Mr. Rupa M. Marak, MLA.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir, for allowing me to take part in this resolution moved by the Honorable LO, Dr. Mukul Sangma. With high hopes and aspiration from the people of Garo Hills, I stand here today. And at the very outset of my speech, I will say that I will support this motion. I am very much feeling fortunate today to have been here in this August House. And I thank the Honorable Deputy Speaker for throwing some glimpse how we achieved the state of Meghalaya. I request the Honorable Chief Minister to invite us also for dinners, the other party leaders. Had it not been for Deputy Speaker, we would not have known that in the dinner parties we are not being called. Anyways, I hope in future our Honorable Chief Minister will invite us for the dinner. See, while in the course of discussion and submission made by some of the respected honorable MLAs in this August House, I have come to know, I was observing that they are being misled or misunderstood about the resolution. See, the resolution is about the demand towards the government to examine the demand to establish